Ladies and gentlemen, we're live with Playday 3 of the Pro League NA region. Welcome back. I missed you. How you doing? Pull up a seat with me and Rio because we are in for some fantastic games tonight, aren't we, Rio?
We are. I couldn't tell if you were talking about me or chat who you missed, but honestly, well, it's about the same. I missed y'all both all in the same. And you know what I have missed even more is more finals gameplay. And that's what we're going to be getting. We will get started today. We have 3 groups just like normal, but we're going to get started with Group A. And let's just take a quick look at the groups that are playing in Group A. It will be After Hours, Bricked, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the Scallywags. And Walt, we were talking about these teams a little bit beforehand, and you noticed something interesting about this group of teams. Do you want to kind of break it down a little bit further?
Absolutely. If you take a close look at our point tallies right now, Bricked and After Hours sitting pretty at the very top of our points here on the right, 686 and 678, a scant 8 points separating the two. On the other end of the scale, we have Make-A-Wish Foundation and Scallywags sitting in 10th and 12th right now. So this could shape out to be a battle of kind of the David versus Goliath, if you will, today.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way of putting it, David versus Goliath. And you know what? This is kind of the perfect underdog story. If you are rooting for one of those teams that's in the lower bracket, this is their opportunity to climb. Maybe get out of the bottom, maybe get into that yellow. Don't know if they have enough points to get up into that green against some of these other teams. But, you know, it's going to just be a lot of fun to see them get in there. Are we going to see the two see them break off and go after each other? Are we going to see doubling? I don't know. That's why I love these play days. They're so dynamic and they are just wild and fun, pretty much nonstop. But where are we going today? What's the first map that we're going to be starting?
We believe our first map is going to be on Vegas. Wouldn't be North America without a little bit of Vegas in there. Just kind of roll the dice some, especially in cash out. It just feels apropos, and I'm excited to see what these kind of Make-A-Wish and Scallywags have both. I disappointed me a little bit in their results so far. I honestly thought both of these teams would do better. Scallywags,
Okay.
we talked about this before. They've had
Yeah.
been around for a while. They're all fantastic players. I expected them to do better, and I still have faith that they can. The season
Yeah.
isn't over. There's still lots of time left, and so they have a lot of chances left to pull this back and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And I do agree with you on the Scallywags. And one thing that I've noticed is recently, I guess backing up, previously, the Scallywags all used to run the pirate outfit together. They would all have the same emote where they'd all get on top of the chest. And you know what? I haven't seen that team unison in their outfits. So maybe that's what's wrong, and maybe that's what they need to change to kind of get things started. But who knows? We could speculate all day, all night, and never find the true answers. But we will be getting started and take a quick look at your team colors up there. If you have a favorite team, you know who to root for as we start casting. If you have a favorite color, even, maybe this is how you find a new team. Who knows? Let's get started on Vegas.
Moving into Vegas, take a close look here as well. I did not see if the Scallywags were in their matching outfits, as you said, but jumping in, and of course, all 4 teams moving forward. This is Playdate 3, so this is where the divides really start to come into play. You really have to perform right now if you're going to make something happen. right following along with Scallywags right now, who actually have Apo subbing in with them. So that's an exciting one to watch. Keep an eye on Apo as they get into this fight right now.
Wow, Matt already throwing down a great RPG. We're just bouncing in between all of these teams. There is that SA as he just chases him down, gets obese grandma down with a very convincing fight in that. And it does look like this first vault, or the vault 2, will be in control of AHS as we move over towards the stairwell. This is normally a really deadly area and kind of not where you want to get caught out. So Stu J really is making good movement as he moves over to A, and they'll get that one started there.
Yeah, a nice quick win as well. It looks like on the other side here for Brick, Busy getting the better of that fight and moving and getting a cash out started on A. Busy, I do believe, is going to be running that. Is he running? There it is, the minigun on Busy again as well. But we're jumping right back over to After Hours following Uni as they set up the defense here on cash out B, waiting for the aggression. And the aggression is, in fact, coming in from Make-A-Wish, looking to find some approach from the top. Uni looking for his defensive position, but seems like he may have been spotted. A very aggressive DMAT there and a quick push from the rest of his team. Uni always on the peripheral, looking for an angle, looking for a kill. His team is bouncing around. Some damage already on Mad, but no kills yet. No deaths so far. He has a nice angle. Looking for Grandma there. Shield is up, though. Blocks the fights, makes a little separation. Already so low. Looking after Grandma once more. Takes one down. Looks for the second. Spinning around. Has eyes. Mad is there. Finishing off the second, and that is all three down. Make-A-Wish Foundation getting rebuffed.
Yeah, we have 2 team wipes there already on the board, and it is looking very convincing for, honestly, both of these cash outs. They got started roughly around the same time, so we won't even see these teams kind of stacking or going against each other as soon as one gets done. It does seem like red and orange, these 2 teams, are very secure in their cash outs going forward. So we're just waiting for them to respawn, and it looks like both sides will have, you know, kind of one more push as they move into it. And we are now watching as one team looks like they might be going towards the Megadome, but we're going to move over to the Scallywags as they make their push onto A. Nice movement there from the camera on Burrita as they go through the gateway. They set it up and they're ready to go. They're moving close to A. They demat it down. There is a bounce pad ready to counter that play immediately, but they are now going for it. All of the Scallywags are gathered around. A C4 drops and brings them down a little bit of time. Take it, Waltz. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, Brick getting a nice, easy kill there. It doesn't look like anyone on them has died. There's still no deaths on the team, period. And Scallywags with no kills at all. 0 kills on them so far. They did have a sub, but clearly it's not working out right now. They just need to take a deep breath, figure out how to work together. They tried to approach in a smart way. Apo is trying to use a glitch grenade, knock out the gateway that Brick had set up on defense, but they just couldn't quite find a way in. And, I mean, it is only the first cash out. We have an hour left of play, 4 full games left to play, so still a lot left to happen. I don't think we can draw any conclusions just yet.
Yep, not even. But looking at the scoreboard right now, we do see that the 2 top teams are very well ahead of the 2 bottom 2 teams. So there's just a big cash discrepancy. The bottom 2 teams just aren't getting kills, you know, 1,000 and 1,500 for both of them. So like you said, the Scallywags and Make-A-Wish need to make something happen, and they need to start getting some kills as well as they move towards the next vault. We are seeing AHS as they move into cash out or vault 3. There it is, an RPG in hand from Mad. He pulls up the mesh shield as he starts to move a little bit closer, switching over, going outside. RPG still ready. He does get a nice shot off and gets Apo down with the shotgun. Really convincing kill, and it looks like they'll bring Cash Vault 3 to Cash Out D and get it started there.
Nice, leaves a quick push for them, but already still in a fight. Matt is getting pushed by the rest of Scallywags, backing off with that mesh, but that mesh is not long for this world, looking for a kill there on Gremlin, but unable to do so. And Scallywags backing out with a successful kill on most of After Hours, but Uni still moving around, still with those angles, probably not trying to defend this yet because him and Lasagna just gonna wait for a second, wait for a revive, but Uni does get into a fight there and melts the enemy. Right behind you, looking for a revive, but Lasagna pushing in, melts the second. That's a team wipe. Scallywags did get a steal, but it is for naught.
Yeah, and it looks like they really need to work on their defensive side because they were able to get in there, but afterwards just holding it just didn't work for them. They were able to even get a couple of kills in the process, but it's just kind of not what they need at this moment. We're moving over to Biz Yao as he's holding that minigun. He's holding it very defensively and just kind of set up and waiting for anybody. He does have a good vantage point over this cash out, and it's really a great place for him to be, but he does get spotted out, and this forces him out into a different position, throws down the dome shield as he starts to get pushed. He's now moving in and out of the buildings, getting set up, holding that minigun down for dear life, able to get one of them down about halfway. He's now getting set up, and sadly he gets chased and gets killed in that process. We move over to his teammate as he gets him back up and to get that minigun back in the fight. It's really what you love as this cash out is down to maybe the last 15 seconds. Somebody has to make a move on it, but honestly, Rick is looking really good in this situation. I don't even think anybody's going to contest them any further on this cash out.
They got that full team wipe, and they are holding very pretty on this point. So they're going to get a solid cash out. That's 2 in a row for them, and still only 1 kill on the side of Brick. Moving on the other side, once again, Scallywags are trying to push onto the point, but Matt is just on a rampage, taking out one after the other, finishing it off with Apo himself, unable to do anything. Stewie is coming in. Brick trying to third party this, looking for a steal, but Mad continues to just take one after the other, but there's Goo in the way. He can't stop it. Is this just a successful steal? Are they going to be able to take it a second away? Can Uni prevent this? Can he get this steal back? And it looks like he is going to be able to by just a hair. Yes, Uni gets that steal. Crazy retake.
Oh my god, just the positioning from Uni always impresses me, and especially in plays like that. He really bought his team the exact amount of time that they needed to get that steal, and you know what? Now they're looking really comfortable in the top place with 37-5. And that's a great position to be as we move into the last 2 minutes of this map. There is Vault 5 as it kind of scurries along down there in the bottoms of Vegas. We see Mad again with an RPG. He spots Grandma out almost immediately, follows it up with the SA as he chases them down. He is finding 1 kill. He gets an assist on his team, but there is another one. Goes for the elbow into the stairwell and just brings Make-A-Wish Kid down in that fight, and Make-A-Wish gets wiped.
These vaults were so close. There is a cash out, but all the teams are here looking for a piece of this final vault as well. They want this. After hours, they are in a really strong place, and that's actually a double. It has been doubled. It's all 1 cash out now, so the top 2 teams are in a kill race to make sure that they don't get anything less than second. Matt has taken a lot of damage. His team is very exposed. They have to find a way out of this position. Lasagna almost dead on his team as well. Mad gets taken down. Only 2 members left of his team. They have to find a way out of this approach. Uni just moving around, trying to give Lasagna cover, but on his way up the zipline, he gets taken out as well. They keep just getting picked off one by one, but Bricked are down. That is After Hours getting the better of their first place counterpart, but Bricked still 2,000 ahead currently in this match. After Hours have a chance to close this up, and meanwhile, while chaos was happening, Scallywags get a steal on A, so they are in a position to take second right now, maybe first, if they can get enough kills. And Lasagna has eyes on them. Can he push? Dropping onto the point, aggressing with that Cerberus 1-shot, 2-shot, immediately eliminates. I'm right behind you. Takes out that heavy, looks for the medium, has eyes on him as well. Following very closely, drops through the floor. No, he's going to take the better part, but he sees them falling through the gateway as well. It's just chaos, people raining from the skies. He has to get out of there, but he gets taken down himself. Only two left on the side of After Hours. 1 left. We're going to go over to Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's just complete chaos. They need to get in on here. Meanwhile, Make-A-Wish actually got the steal successfully from Scallywags in the midst of this fight. So Herbie Hancock holding close. They need to have a high ground. They need to prevent any steals that may come out as we see Scallywags on the point looking to get that steal right now. Gas preventing them from doing so. Herbie Hancock jumping in with that dash, taking some more damage, lighting them up from behind, able to keep them away from the point. The gas isn't going to last much longer. Only about 20 seconds left on this cash out. Somebody has to move for it now, but great angle from Herbie. Able to take out 1, looking for the second. Has eyes on the third, looking for another one. Scallywags, just the goo separating them, but the steal is going out. He has to prevent the steal right now. They're waiting for it, looking for it. Can he get it? No! Prevented. That is going to be Make-A-Wish taking what I believe is still... Oh, it's so close. Is that just going to be third? They're taking second. Make-A-Wish at the last second, getting 1,000 and pushing them over the edge.
Wow, what did we just watch? That was so wild. It changed hands one after another. Everybody went for a steal and just died right there in front of the cash out station. Truly an amazing just conclusion to the map one. Whilst we're just getting started, and look at these teams. They are ready for blood. And look at those scoreboards. We have Uni with 10 kills, Lasagna with 11, and looking on the other side of it, we have Bricked with 8, 8, and 2. Truly some great teamwork, great team play, and you can even see that. Look at the combat scores from nearly all the teams. They are very close. These teams knew what they were going for.
Oh, that was incredibly tight, and it's always intense when you get four teams, especially on that last cash out. It's just constant action. They're not even a second for me to throw it over to you. I'm already out of breath, Rio, because
I
it
know.
was
I
brutal stuff there at the end. And I'm just the decision to double, I think, was made by both Scallywags and Make a Wish. Definitely wanted to double there, and really smart
yeah.
from them because that gave them the ability to make it to that second place, barely beating After Hours, who were in command of that entire match from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It made sense to double, and it made it where basically our third place team was able to like secure a very like good cash. They got second from that, and they
Yeah,
were nowhere near it. I think they
nowhere
had like
close.
7K before that, before they were able to get the steal, and then the cash at the very end. And it didn't even look like they were going to hold it. Like it got down to just those last few seconds, and everybody was dead. And you saw the steal trying to happen, and it just didn't work. So I don't know. I keep going back to like everybody watching. This is map one. We still have three
Yes,
more coming,
3 more to go.
and if we are going to see more gameplay like that, it is just going to be super exciting. But I also want to take a quick second and look at the Scallywags, Waltz, because they kind of were slipping. What do you think happened there?
Honestly, this could just be chalked up to, like we said, they already were kind of struggling a
Mm.
little bit, and this could just be maybe an issue with kind of the sub slotting in.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Apple play. I'm sure Apple has played with them in scrims
yeah,
before. I mean, we know Apple is a good player, but maybe he just kind of wasn't used to the speed of these matches.
mm,
The teams that are playing, this is the third day, so the teams that have played
yeah.
so far, this is their ninth game of cash out so far in
Wow.
these groups, and they've played these games and probably scrimmed in some as well before this. They're
Mm.
used to this intense speed and just the high level of play, and if you get dropped in without enough scrims, I can imagine this is a bit of a meat grinder to go from ranked, which can be so imbalanced, to something like this. So really, I think they just need to slow down a little bit and try to play a bit more of a tactical style. They're clearly
Okay.
the moment to moment gunfights are not working for them. We saw they have all three of them have 6 deaths. They only
Yeah.
have 6 kills between the three of them, so they need to slow down and take smarter fights.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And one of the interesting things that we have seen between these teams as they go between map and map is that they do make slight little changes, little adaptions, things that they need to kind of make themselves more competitive. And I really hope that that's what we see here. Sometimes it's unfortunate that they're not able to kind of make changes happen until like the second or third map. But yeah, I don't know. I think that everybody has the opportunity to get in there. We are looking at one person maybe loading in a little late for the Scallywags. I don't know. It still looks like he might connect, but might be a slight pause. Not sure. Just prepping everybody for whatever could be. But yeah, what are your thoughts? We're moving to Cis Horizon now, Waltz.
Yes. Again, a map that I hope will be better for the Scallywags a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember, I believe it may have been one of the Pro Hub Sundays. I actually got to watch Apo playing a bit as well on Light, running Invis as he is today as well. And he was playing quite well around his team at that point. I think he might have been playing with Pure Straits at the time, which is a kind of a teammate that he was playing with for quite a while. So a little more communication there. But one of the things that he really likes to do, likes to be the reconnaissance, likes to move around. And I think that's probably a little bit easier to do on Horizon. It does provide you with a little more high ground options like that. So I think this maybe might prove a better one for them, but we saw Busy clean up with his minigun the last time we saw him play on this map. So honestly, and this was their pick, so expect Brick to pop off right now.
Sweet. And I don't have the scoreboard, but is everybody in the map? Because it does look like we're just getting
Yes.
into it. We are. All right. I love that. Welcome to map number 2 as we get started here on Sis Horizon. Sis Horizon is definitely a fan favorite, and it seems like a favorite from the teams playing as well. Uni just having some fun, bouncing up and down on that bounce pad, looking for some info that he can find. Oh,
the
look at that
track.
tracking, and was just able to get him down. That is some great shots from the XP. Now, I can't remember, was it Uni that was switching off to the ARN previously? Because it seems like he might have come back. I might be confusing it with somebody else, but
Oh
it's
yeah, no,
always
you're right.
fun. I am, yeah. So that's what I thought, and it's always cool. I don't know why he's back on the XP. Maybe he got burned or bored of the AR. I don't know, but kind of cool to see him go back to where he really got, his footing. So cool to see. We are watching Lasagna as he gets a res on his team. He does get spotted out, DMAT in the wall, but the Cerberuses are
Nice
battling
finish.
each other out, and Lasagna is able to get it. They're having to throw some goo and a dome shield up, trying to block themselves out, but there is the DMAT, just kind of gets him out of that sticky situation. As we move into the battle, we see them all throwing down canisters, trying to get anything going. Bricked is down to their last member, trying to stay alive if he can. Uni is hot in the trace, and he finds him and
Nice
gets the
finish.
kill.
And meanwhile, while all of this was happening, Uni not only finished that fight in the light versus light battle, but also went over and plugged B. So it's already a quarter through. Make-A-Wish Foundation are pushing onto B right now, and they're going to be in a little bit of a defensive position as After Hours now have to return, but they have a great option here. If the steal is going to happen, but they're in a commanding position. Uni does have the high ground over top of them as we see Mad cresting the top of the hill. A jump coming in from both teams. Med shields, domes have been dropped, both levels on the ground. Looks for that RPG. RPG not connecting with a lot. Mad pushing in, looking for some damage. Does have about both of them half level. Grandma drops down and wins the 1v1. Mad going down. One loss from each team, but Uni is on the hunt. Finishes off Grandma, looking for the final member. There is a defib there, but Uni is not deterred. Takes out Make-A-Wish Kid. Make-A-Wish Kid has been melted, and Grandma, the only one left, is going to get quickly eliminated. That is a second team wipe and another cash out.
It just dirty. That's so dirty. He was just bouncing in and out and had these slight little corners and was able to just spot and track him and just delete who was ever in his crosshairs. Gotta love a good performance from Uni. And yeah, truly what we love to see here at the Pro League. We're now moving over to the Scallywags as they actually have some good control right now. Can they buy themselves just probably about the 20 more seconds that they need? But oh no, here is Bricked as they move in. They're trying to get the steal. That goo doing everything it can to block it off. It does get dropped, but they're able to hold it, and they got the steal. We're now watching that minigun just eat everybody alive. They are now full in control, and they just stole that right from under the Scallywags and got a wipe to boot.
Scallywags definitely look a little bit better than they did at the beginning of the last match. They already have a kill apiece. Unfortunately, did not quite work for them, but I believe they might already have been higher than they were at the end of last match. So they're in a better spot. It's working for them. They did get surprised that minigun is no slouch. When you get to those close quarters, it might be as terrifying as a sledge heavy when you get up into that close quarters, honestly.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, we move over to Stu J as he just eliminates another person from the walkway. Great to see it as he throws down a sonar grenade and tries to find his next victim. But now it does look like they're going to head more towards Vault 3, maybe? I'm not really sure. He's very kind of out of position. Maybe trying to get intercepted in between C. Yeah, it does look like he's now going to get set up at C. He has a gateway there. He's going to be able to get that vault all the way over there almost immediately. Help out his team if he can get on top of it. There it goes. It's now moving. He's now following along on the zip line. Does get spotted out from the minigun and has to dodge and weave, but that minigun not able to chase him long enough and get the kill. He is going to get the cash out started. His teammates right behind him, but looks like one of them is actually dead right now, and they're going to have to get a res as they get set up.
Yeah, Bricked pushed in, and actually third-party Scallywags again. Scallywags finally got a win. They took out Make-A-Wish Foundation, but then they got third-party wall fighting for that vault, and Brick just came in and stole it like absolute thieves. Apo bringing his team onto the high ground. They have a great viewpoint, but nobody they can see. Apo, with that sonar, is fishing around looking to find somebody, trying to just get any idea of where the team is playing, but both sonar grenades turning up empty. He has no idea yet where they are, and the reason he has no idea is because they're not anywhere close. Bricked have decided to go third party over on D. That's where the fight's happening. This is going to be a free cash out for Scallywags if they decide to go for the steal right now, and it looks like Apo, he's thinking about it. Team settling on the point. There goes the steal, but it's too late. Richter now back. They have a chance to contest this, pushing onto the point. The minigun burr is going on. It's doing damage. Apo is backing out with his team, though.
Yep, he moves into the stairwell, and it's a great position for him to be in. He now has a great vantage point, but they don't have control of this cash out. They would have had the perfect opportunity, like you pointed out, so it's sad to see, but they are now making their advance onto it. I can't even tell where Bricked are, but they are in firm control over this, but there is the steal. It does go down. C4 drops it down below and forces them to scramble to try and get it at it again. Cash out is down to maybe a little bit over a fourth left. They need to make something happen. We're watching Apo as he just follows and chases. He's getting one kill. He gets one, but sadly he goes down in that fight. And we're watching them as they move forward, and it doesn't look good. The Scallywags got wiped, and Brick stays in firm control of this cash out.
Again, just not feeling like they're in control of these matches. But here comes After Hours looking for their own third party. They're already going to melt STN immediately. That is a trade, though. 2 versus 2 pushed in. Stewie on the backside looking for a kill. He has 2 members left. Nice quick wipe of After Hours. They got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. They get punished for it.
That's a great way of putting it. They definitely got caught. They didn't expect anybody, but we're moving over to Stu J as he finds a couple of next victims, but unable to kind of get the connection. His teammate goos him off as well. Not what you want to see, a teammate just throwing basically a wall down in front of you as you're trying to get away. But sadly, or I guess luckily, it didn't really do anything negative for him. We're watching them as they move over towards the next vault. I think it seems like they might have made a call not to go for it and just wait and watch for the next people to kind of get any bit closer.
Yeah, a bit of a lull right now. Teams just sort of fighting over vaults. 6 is going to get tapped without a care in the world. After Hours in complete control of that, but the fight is happening over at B right now, as already it is Scallywags versus Make-A-Wish, looking to finish one off. 2 down from Make-A-Wish right now. Walio trying to get the revive. He does get the revive, but barely. He's down. It's all on Herbie Hancock to finish this off. One very low. Apo does finish that off. Apo with a nice kill, getting them their first team wipe of the match, I believe. That is Scallywags in control of Vault. They're going to get this plug.
All right, Scallywags and Scallywag fans, now is the time to root for them. We have 1 minute left in this map, and they are getting the next cash out started. We see the C4 setting it up, and they look very firmly in control of it. Nobody's really contesting them just yet, but with the Make-A-Wish Foundation spawning back in, I assume that they will spawn close. But what's this? They're deciding to go for it. Are they going to try and get the plug?
They have to go for the other one.
They have to go for it. Oh, it's so sad to see. Yeah, they needed it doubled, and I don't think they'll even get there in time. They're going to get there right as it gets put in to cash out A. Sad to see it, but After Hours is in firm control of this as I think they decide to make their retreat.
Yeah, B is currently just a battle right now. This is a battle over 2 cash outs. Cash out B is a battle for 3rd and 4th, but cash out A is the battle for 1st. Brick versus After Hours. The 2 Titans going toe-to-toe right now as we head back to our 3rd, 4th matchup. Herbie pushing onto Apo, looking for that kill. Nice dashes, but he can't evade him. Walio gets immediately melted. Nice aim trained there. Herbie Hancock, another down. Apo cannot evade fast enough. Only 1 member left of his team. The steal is going out, but here comes Brick looking to just third party again. There is no rest for the Wicked, and Purple not able to hold this. Herbie Hancock and Grandma very, very low. He's about to lose his heavy, does get a glitch out. Busy drops through a hole in the floor and can't finish off Hancock, but Hancock the only one left on his team. Brick may get a completely free steal here. SCN sitting on the point, but that's eyes from Hancock. He has the high ground, he has the ability to hold on to this, but he still doesn't have a steal. This is still in control of Scallywags. They're very happy if they can hold on to this just because it gives them at the very least 3rd. Apo again on the periphery of this fight, trying to make sure that all he needs right now is just an angle on the point, but he can't get spotted. He's very low. Drops that sonar and makes sure to separate himself just a little bit from the rest of this fight.
Yep, and we are watching it as we're looking at the last 15 seconds of this cash out. Somebody needs to steal it if they're going to dive on it right now. Cash out ticking down very slowly as both teams make their advance on there. But this is looking good for Scallywags as they might be in control of it. But sadly, Make-A-Wish Kid goes down in that fight. Watching Apo as he gets some gas, maybe can bring it to the point. I think that they're going to be able to get this cash out. Finally, maybe make something work in this map. Yeah, there, the Scallywags finally getting on the board.
And you know what I would have actually loved to see right there, which I think would have been a kind of a heads-up play? I would actually have really liked to see After Hours run in and just try to suicide, just throw kills away if possible.
Yeah.
Because if you can, like, if you know you can, and it's like, I just, that was such a close battle at the very end of that fight, there was a chance, maybe a chance, that Scallywags eke out a second position. But even at the end of the day, it was still a 1,500 difference. They needed four more kills to get that first position. Unfortunately,
Mm.
they couldn't quite pull it off. But that was a much better performance from Scallywags, really
Yeah.
finding their footing in this map and starting to figure out what they need to do. And kind of like I said, I think that they were starting to get a feel for the Appa was able to get a little more scouting out there. He was able
Mhm.
to kind of find his way around these fights, not get picked off so early. And Walio and Light Behind You were playing around him a little bit better, especially, and Appa switching to the dash may have made a difference. The
Yeah.
evasiveness, especially with so many people running Sonar Grenade, the cloak feels a little bit less valuable than it may have used to.
Oh, interesting take. I'm not sure I actually agree with that fully just yet. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Invis is quite OP still. But it is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, we've taken a look at kind of the bottom tier as well. What's going on with Make a Wish? They don't seem to have much traction in the last game or in this one. Is it their play style? They seem to just kind of be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I see them constantly going for like third teams and just like not being successful. Are you seeing anything different? What's your opinion, Waltz?
I just find they're not coordinated in the way they need to be.
Okay.
Like they're winning one-on-one fights, but there's
Mm,
no push from the rest of the team to follow up that kill. Grandma's winning quite a few one-on-ones, even
mhm.
if he gets winched in. Like we saw him take out Busy once or twice. We've seen him take out Matt in a one versus one. But
Yeah.
then one person goes down, and then he goes down because he's low, and his team isn't there, and they can't actually do anything, unfortunately. So I would like to see. Honestly, I'm not sure because I feel like at this point we've seen them kind of on the bottom two for quite a
Mm.
long time now, and I'm actually not 100% sure what I need to see them change at this point. I don't want to say it's aim,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're not winning the one-on-one battles right now.
Well, at this top level, it does come down to strategy quite a lot. So it could just be a strategy thing because, like, I don't know. I don't think that we're seeing a discrepancy in aim from these teams. Like, I think that they have good aim, but it's just like when you're exposed. I think it's just like placement almost more than anything. We were talking just the other day about how that's one of the most important things in the game, just kind of where you were situationally placed in the game. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see as if they're able to come back in these next two maps because I hate to say it, the further they get down that board, it's going to be even harder for them to climb up. But
Yeah.
with that said, I think that we're going to be loading into the map. I definitely heard something in the
Yeah.
background.
We are remaking the lobby just really quickly. So let's take a quick look at our standings as we are moving two matches in now, moving into our third map, which will be Bernal in just a second. Brickton After Hours again, still at the very top. Brick starting to pull quite a bit of ways from After Hours, up to a 42-point difference now, up from that 8-point difference that we had just at the start. So those two maps doing a lot for them, especially managing to get After Hours kicked down to a third place.
Yeah, no kidding. So After Hours does need to kind of step it up a little bit if they don't want to be, I don't know, further down that list. But yeah, that discrepancy is getting bigger and bigger between first and second. But we've said it before, there's still a lot more matches to come and a lot of time too. Like this is not but yeah, it's just all kind of getting together and going, yeah, pretty smooth and pretty swimmingly so far.
Yeah.
Production, do we know what map we're going to be going to next? Because we can talk about that. Mm,
Hmm. Looks like we'll be heading to Bernal. Should be coming in soon. Still getting everyone loaded in. And one thing that kind of going back to our discussion earlier,
yeah.
I'm wondering potentially maybe about the loadout choices for the
Oh,
side of Make a Wish because that's something that we haven't looked a lot at lately. But I
mhm.
wonder if maybe that's part of it. Maybe they're running because we've actually seen the meta change a
Yeah.
lot. I think
Mhm.
we've seen some off picks like obviously the minigun. Busy has decided he likes that one. We saw Soyo run that. We've
Yeah.
seen some people run Sledge. Winch has been a massive got in a lot of play. We've seen more
Yeah.
mesh on the side of NA, I think, than we do from EU. EU is a very winch heavy region, but at the same time, I kind of want to look actually at what they're running on the side
Mm.
of Make a Wish because I wonder if maybe they're not keeping up with some of these changes. With lights running dash and sonar grenade, medium. Like some of these changes, maybe they're not up to date on.
Yeah, and I think you really hit on a good point there that the meta does change, and you have to kind of stay on top of it and know how to at least counter it or find a really play within your own meta really well. And I think you brought up an interesting point that EU definitely does use the winch claw more than they use the mesh shield, and why do you think that is? Do you think it's just the recent buff from the winch claw, or do you think that it's just that mesh shield just really isn't that good? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Walt?
Um, Honestly, I think it's because for the longest time, EU was more of a double medium kind of region. They were more double mediums for longer than NA was. NA had very high tier lights, and I think
Mm,
if honestly, and maybe this is a hot take, but I think if I was to pit the best lights in NA versus the best lights in EU, I think a lot of the time the NA takes that one.
okay.
Be a hot take, but I think they have better lights, and so I think that when you looked at the double medium lineups coming out of EU, they were more willing to run things like mesh because they often were running double mediums for a little bit longer, things that gave them just a little bit more
Hmm,
beef. You didn't need that mesh maybe as much as you do otherwise. So
interesting.
maybe it's that. Maybe that's one of the options. It could just be that their playstyle is just more about cash out movement. EU maybe likes to really focus on where does the cash out sit, something that we see Team
Yeah.
Dip and they run winch. Whereas a lot of these NA teams are about let's play for the team fight, and the mesh is good for the team fight. Winch is really good for positioning and setting up where you want to take the fight.
Yeah, and yeah, positioning is a really big part of it as well, and just the cash out manipulation part of it. Also, just being able to kind of grab onto that cash out station, move it somewhere else. We often see it combined with a bounce pad as well. So they kind of your medium will throw down a bounce pad, and then you as the heavy will just kind of drag it over that bounce pad, and it sends it flying somewhere. If you haven't seen it or done it before, it's quite fun and quite funny to watch as well. As that cash out just kind of gets shot somewhere completely different, and to me, that advantage is so much more powerful than a mesh shield because like you take the counter of like I can move it, I can manipulate it, I can put it somewhere else where it's way more out in the open versus like I can block damage for against a good team like 2 to 5 seconds maybe.
Yeah,
Like it's just kind of, and then on top of it like you have to have your teammates behind you or otherwise the mesh shield's not doing much other than just
yeah,
keeping yourself alive. So I don't know, chat, let me know your hot takes in the chat. Are you a mesh shield kind of person
I
or are
do.
you a winch claw kind of person? I'm
Yeah,
curious y'all's takes.
LevDub makes a good point that perhaps invalidates the argument I was making. It makes me reconsider things, but yeah, more lights means less mesh because you got glitch grenades,
Mm,
and that's definitely something that's going to give you some concern if you're running that mesh just because you don't want to have an entire part of your utility completely disappear. So maybe that's actually part of it. Maybe the prevalence of lights really pushes them away from mesh. That's something that I think maybe that's something we look further into
yeah.
as we kind of get through these matches. Is like, what are people running? Why do they focus on that? And does the mesh shield pay off? Because for some people like Busy, I think it definitely pays off. Running that minigun, the mesh is a good call. The way his play style, the way his movement is. But for others, it maybe just comes down to play style.
Yeah, interesting. And looking at the chat, I do see one interesting thing before we get to the winch claw discussion. But Apo is in chat, and he's saying his internet is lagging pretty hard. Says he feels like he's on Asia servers. So,
Mm,
yeah, I'm just stating it. We're not on Asia servers. Very much not on Asia servers.
yeah.
So it is something kind of with his internet, and it's sad to see. Sad to hear,
Oh yeah.
Apo. Not sure what's going on there, but hopefully you're able to get it fixed. Maybe that's why we're having a pause as he kind of
Yeah.
gets things situated. But we do see a lot of people in chat saying that they are Winchclaw players, and one person saying a charge and slam person. I don't even see charge and
Ooh.
slam that often anymore.
Yeah, the nerf definitely knocked it down, at least in the competitive scene for sure. It was
Yeah.
never really a very common pick to begin with,
Yep.
just because it's a very selfish specialization, right? And heavy kind of needs to be a center point for
Hmm.
your medium heavy combo, you need to either have the utility that is brought with the winch, or you need to have the save potential that is with the mesh. And that's just not happening with Charge and Slam. Charge and Slam is purely damage, and I mean, if the heavy's not lacking in damage, the heavy has tons of damage. So
Yep.
I don't think that's ever been a concern.
I am glad that charge and win is no longer kind of the meta. Because there was a season there that I absolutely couldn't stand it. You'd be like, oh, I'm getting shots off, and then he presses Q to win. But we'll put my saltiness on the back burner as we get to one of my favorite maps, and that's Bernal. And I think that this will be a really good test for these teams here because, as we said before on Bernal, the interesting thing is that it's not really vertically based. It doesn't have a lot of buildings that are really tall. It's kind of more on a horizontal playing field. So teams have to kind of do a lot more fighting towards the ground. But we immediately get into it as Uni spots somebody in his crosshairs. He's looking across there to the cathedral, very low already, taking about half the damage. Spots one out as they dive away. Brick is on the other side and receiving end of it. As we were just talking, there is the mesh shield, and they were actually using it pretty well, holding the team together and blocking all of that damage from Uni, forcing him to reposition and spots one of them out, gets Bizao Yao down as immediately, and he's unable to get that minigun spun up. He's now trying to find the next person and is not spotting anybody. They got wiped. I guess his teammates just helped clean it up.
Yeah, a nice cleanup from them. Uni actually kind of losing that ranged battle at first, but they figured out how to pull it back, and they're now in control of this first ball. Moving over to Cash Out A, getting it started off. After Hours, taking down their nemesis from the first two maps, and getting a nice, good start to this match with a kill, a couple kills apiece. Actually, Lasagna with all 3 kills there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Lasagna has consistently really performed well in these Pro League matches. So it's cool to see him do something like that and just absolutely wipe up with his team in, following in chase. Now watching Uni as he kind of gargoyles himself up on top of the little, I don't know, what are those gas barrels, gas canisters, something like that to hold him in a little bit of an elevated position. He's now been detected as there are sonar grenades all around him. He has a red barrel in hand. Oh my god! And just absolutely deletes Apo as he throws it and follows it up with a barrage of
Nukes
bullets.
are back, baby.
Yeah, nukes are back, Apo. As he follows and finds his next victim, he spots one of them out through the wall and is able to chase. And can he connect? They're both very low. There's the heavy. He gets deleted, but he is down to the last person. 64 health on Uni as he throws a gateway to get out of there. He probably needs to wait or help one of his teammates get back up so they can get back into this fight.
Yeah, his whole team is going to be up in 2 seconds, just has to wait a second longer for Mad, so they're going to have a very easy retake of this if they desire. There, that's Glitch Grenade, a great angle from him. He might get taken down, doing a lot of damage. That is exactly what he needs. The steal, unable to go through. Wally's already down. That's 2 members dead in the blink of an eye. It's all down to Apo, and he cannot deliver. Should have gotten out, shouldn't have taken that flight to Japan. It was a bad timing for it, because unable to clutch it for his team there.
Yep, moving over to the other side of things, Stu J, as he is popping shots left and right, gets Obese Grandma down quite convincingly, looking for the next person, spots him out on top of that roof. He takes a lot of damage in that fight. Can he get him down? He can't. He gets Herbie Hancock down to just a tickle of HP, but Herbie now does get deleted in that fight as well. I'm not sure. Kind of moved away from Herbie, but now we see, yeah, there is Busy as he moves to the next cash out. I think that they'll be able to hold this pretty easily.
Yeah, got a nice team wipe there. Held off Make-A-Wish once again, continuing to struggle to find their footing really on all of these maps so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, Brick once again in control of another cash out. A little bit delayed. This is going to give After Hours a nice bit of tempo here. They might even try to third party this. Keep an eye on them. Actually, yeah, this is them looking for a third party potentially. No, it's just Scallywags pushing on to Brick here on cash out B. There's a jump pad. They have the high ground, but a return jump pad. Busy in the air, getting knocked down by Apple. Lots of damage. Aggressing very quickly with that dash. Looking for Stu, drops down, has the finish. Nice job, Apo. 1 versus 1. Apo versus STN. A couple seconds left on this cash out. Does he have time to steal it? STN playing very smartly on defense. Looks for Apo. 1 shot, 2 shot. He's burning. He's down. Apo can't take it, and the cash out goes to Brick. STN pulling it out for his team.
Yeah, in that theater section, they really played that well, especially by moving the middle platform right as they started to move in there. We move over to the other side of things as Uni is popping shots off left and right. He is the last person alive on his team, but that's not stopping him. He's trying to find anybody he can. He is moving towards Obese Grandma, throws that glitch grenade to bring the mesh shield down, and now Grandma is very exposed and sadly gets wiped in that fight with the rest of his team. And they're going to get the res as well. Halfway through this match, and the teams are looking good. Top two teams looking very strong, Bricked and After Hours. So we move into the next part.
No surprise there. It makes sense that these teams have been in control of this match, considering their placement in the overall standings. And we're back over with Busy, rocking that Lockbolt. Not a lot of people rocking Lockbolt, and I'm really enjoying watching them play this. And so that's very exciting, actually. So keeping an eye on him. Has a great angle here. Oh, this could be interesting. Spinning this up. Gonna drop on top of the team. Lockbolt doesn't hit, only hits one person, following it down with that minigun. Tries to get through the wall, but the ground is just not allowing him. Continuing to dodge away. They're able to get a plug, and now can they set up on defense? Does anybody want to chase a minigun heavy through that gateway? I don't think so. And look at Vault 4, very, very close. And these are actually very close cash outs as well. Just the church sitting in between them. This could be potentially a double, or one team looking for both cash outs. This could be very interesting.
Yeah, if I was the Scallywags, I would absolutely try and double this. Make it a little more chaotic and maybe bring yourselves up a little bit. But now I take it back because it doesn't matter because both cash outs are started. I do quite like the cash out on D because you have a lot of opportunities to drop that in and play in a little bit more of an open area. And it doesn't look like they are even going to drop it just yet. They have a great overview even of cash out C, and I don't think anybody's going to go for it. But what we might see is as soon as C is done, there will be plenty of time and everybody will be very close that they'll be able to just dive on top of the next cash out. And I really think the last 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds of this next cash out of cash out D will just be absolutely insane.
Yeah, these fights on C right now have been so scattered. They haven't been anywhere close to the point. Lasagna, again, he's a little bit off point, has the heavy solo, pushing behind Mad. Mad about to take out the heavy of Brick, but he gets taken down himself. Uni down as well. That's only one left for After Hours. Mad looking for a revive, but he gets spotted once again. STN finishing him off, a wipe, and on the backside, Scallywags going for a cheeky steal on this cash out. They're successfully going to do it, and now they're going to egress from now as Brick pushing in once again, but they're losing some health. Apo around the periphery has that sonar. He has eyes on them, and look at that, STN quite low. Waiting for his opportunity to drop down. There is a mesh shield, but he has no glitch grenades right now, actually. Doesn't have the ability to... No, it just came up in time. That's no more shields. He drops down, but he's immediately melted. Cannot survive there. The minigun is in full swing, just peppering them. And enemy team Scallywags, they cannot handle the firepower.
That was awesome. I love to see it. It just cleared the whole room. Everybody in there just died, and poor Scallywags, you were on the receiving end of basically non-stop barrage of bullets. We move over to Lasagna as they are protecting their cash out. I take it back. They're going for a steal on the cash out. Cash out D very low. This is what I predicted. Everybody is over here. They are trying to get it. There is the lock bolt just keeping everybody bouncing up and down as if they were on a bungee line, and cash out D will run out. And we're looking at the top teams right now. Bricked with 36K, followed up very closely by, is that Make-A-Wish? Are they actually coming back? What's happening?
Second place right now. They're doing a great job. All they have to do is make sure that they're getting one of these cash outs, or at the very least that they do not allow After Hours to do so. This is their chance to get a nice high scoring round, as Scallywags desperately need at least one of these cash outs, but Make-A-Wish is not interested in allowing them to do so very easily. Wally following up Apo, looking for the damage, does finish off Kirby as he tries to get through the door, but the door smacks him on his way through. Grandma grabbing that point, but Wally hitting with FMOS is just continuing to pepper them with damage. Only two left. Grandma's very, very low and getting pushed by Wally. He's keeping those angles so locked down, but here's Bricked once again, playing Whalers from the side. Sue is just doing damage, but Wally just cleaning them up one after the other. Hancock down again. Crazy damage from Wally there. 8 kills, and I swear half of them were in the last 30 seconds.
That was absolute gold playing, and he's still chasing the kills. That round is going to end, but wow, that is a clip-worthy shot right there. He was just getting one after another. Love to see it. And you know what? Hey, Make-A-Wish actually came back. They listened to us, maybe. They at least went back and talked with their teams, and yeah, I love it that they were able to come back. They're not out. It's still anybody's game as we go into one more map for Group A.
One more map left, and I actually really like Make a Wish's play there. They could have gone for a cash out. They could have tried. Uh, could have tried to get that first position, but instead they decided, you know what? We're in second place. Let's get the guaranteed points, and they just kept on hounding Scallywags. Even though Wally picked up a ton of kills there at the end, unable to get a plug with that vault that they were carrying. Apo just
Yeah.
could not slip away. And we only saw 4 cash outs in that entire match. Vaults 5 and 6 never got plugged. And Make a Wish are very happy with that result because they get a second place that they might have lost if they had to fight in another cash out.
Yep, and it does look like we have a special guest on stream. Waltz, what cat is this?
This is Lovecraft. Say hello.
Lovecraft. I think Lovecraft is the one that joined us last time as well.
He,
He seems
he
to be
did.
in for the spotlight. But yeah, and going back to what we were talking about, I think that yeah, it was interesting that there weren't a lot of cash outs that happened on this map. They just seemed to fight over the vaults and just kind of took it a little bit slow and even get them plugged in there. So really kind of interesting to see that feels like they're maybe slowing things down going into the third and fourth map. But I don't know. Maybe the fourth map, they will just turn up the tempo and we'll just see everybody going at it. I don't know. What's your prediction as we get into the last map for this group, Waltz?
Ooh, hot take. I think
Yeah.
Scallywags are going to put it together, and I think they're going to make a run and get second or first in this match.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is quite the opinion.
I'm manifesting it into being. It's
Okay.
going to happen. We're going to see Scallywags figure it out. Appo's going to go 10-2. Sorry, am I not supposed to read the script? Hold up. Production's telling me not to read the script. I'm sorry. I think Bricked will win. I think Bricked will win, and I think After Hours will be second. That's actually that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, and yeah, I did see some people rooting for the Scallywags in chat. So if you are rooting for them, show them your love, show them your enthusiasm, like that cat wants to be in Waltz's lap. I want to see chat. I want to see you go crazy. Do you have a favorite team in this group? Do you have a favorite map? And as we load into the last map of Group A, which will be Fortune Stadium, I think everybody that's heard me before knows that this is my favorite map. But Waltz, is it your favorite map as well?
It's not quite my. It's definitely up there.
Mm,
It's not my favorite map though. I do really enjoy Horizon. I enjoy Monaco. Those are
mm,
probably two of my top maps. Bernal actually is one of my favorites as well. I really enjoy that
yeah.
map. Uh, I like Fortune. I like Fortune, but it's a little. I don't know what it is. It's maybe too separated. Kind of reminds me of Skyway in some ways.
Mm.
I know everyone points to Seoul has some similar buildings, but the placement of the buildings reminds me a lot of Skyway and how disconnected all of these regions are. It's still a very fun map. I like it more than both of those, but something that you know, um, it's not my favorite.
Long roundabout way of saying it's not your favorite, but I appreciate it anyway. You are allowed to be wrong, Waltz. It happens.
Yeah.
But as we move into
Spectator
this,
here. Burita apparently does not revive his teammates. By the way, I don't know if he's not going
what?
to. Is he going to show the scoreboard once again? But we'll see. Has not revived a single teammate so far, but apparently has 248 out of 250
Oh,
headshots. So,
Burrita.
I don't know, man. Selfish production. That's all I'm going to say.
Not a team. He hasn't played today. He hasn't played today. That's not a good
A
reason there,
likely
Burrita.
story. A likely story. We all know the
Uh,
real answer. But we have to get into the match. Rio, why are you distracting me? This is map number 3. We're on Fortune Stadium. What's happening?
What is happening indeed? We're watching Matt as he has that RPG in hand, followed up by Lasagna with the other spinnier RPG in hand. We like to call it a red barrel, as they're looking for anybody, but it doesn't look like anybody wants to contest them. That vault has been opened, but we do see on the other side of it, the Make-A-Wish team is really kind of barricaded and set themselves up on top of that building to the right. I think that they need to kind of make their escape. There is a gateway set up, but they have to make their move now. Make-A-Wish does spot them out as they move around, but everybody is set there ready for the gateway, and they come through it. And did the vault come with them? I can't really tell.
They've actually never even been in control of the vault. That was just them being locked down. The vault is just sitting on the
Oh.
ground as both teams vying for position right now. After hours are going to sneak in. Lasagna grabs the vault, but gets engaged in this melee, the three-way fight. Scallywag's getting wiped by Brick, but here come After Hours looking to punish them as Mad drops onto the point with an RPG, doing some damage, almost finishing off. STN looking to finish that off, finishes off one. His team has finished off the second and the third. After Hours with the vault third party get control of vault number 2 and looking towards cash out B.
Yep, they will bring it over to B. And, you know, an interesting thing about this cash out here is that it's in kind of what I like to call the crumbly building. The building that they're taking it over to tends to just kind of absolutely just destroy around them. You just need to break a couple of the, like, lower floors, and then the rest of it just comes crumbling down. And they do have a lot of red barrels in the area that can make that happen. But they have now moved over to cash out A. The gateway brings his team over there. We see them getting set up on top of that bridgeway as they bounce up. Dome shield down, getting some shots off with the FAMAS, but unable to connect. And it does look like the Make-A-Wish team is really strong here. And maybe Stu is kind of stuck. I'm not sure what we're watching.
No, they got so disconnected on Scallywag. Scallywag's down already, but again, Brichter here for another third party, looking to finish off the remaining members of Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish with only 2 left. It has been dropped. Brick unable to steal at the current moment, but Stu drops down, protecting his heavy, looking for that steal on the periphery. Herbie is looking for a delay, but the steal is not going out. They've actually delayed it a little bit longer. Continues to be a 2 versus 2, but there's the third coining in. Make-A-Wish with 3 versus 2 now. Stewie and Busy by themselves. Busy is down. Stu, the last member, bricked with a rare rebuff as they approach this point. It's all on Stu to make this happen. Has eyes on the heavy, but he's talking face first into an SA-12. Gets wiped. Make-A-Wish coming out on top.
Yeah, this is kind of the least, or not the best performance we've seen from Brick in all of these maps. And yeah, Make-A-Wish is really on top. Scallywags are now in control of B. There's maybe about 25 seconds left on this cash out. It does look like After Hours is getting in right into them. They get spotted out. Wally tries to go away and bring himself into a corner. He demats himself into the stairwell, trying to find anybody out, get some more information for his team, and he spots one right there. Can he get the dashing light? He decides he doesn't want to fight and demats himself a hole in the wall. He's going around, but it is being stolen right now, as Wally is the last person left.
Oh, the jump pad!
He's not able to get it. He just barely missed the placement of that. And sadly, they get wiped in that battle as well. What just happened for the poor Scallywags?
Oh no. I mean, it started off like After Hours playing way too far away from their cash out. Scallywags get a free steal. And then, oh, that was just so close. He couldn't. He was running. He was moving as fast as he could. He probably had a second longer, honestly, than he thought he did to place that jump pad, and just a little off. Didn't quite place it properly.
Yep, and that is just so heartbreaking, because if he would have, it would have stopped the steal. And that's what you want to do when you're the last person alive. You're just buying as much time as possible. And it is just heartbreaking when you're off by a couple of inches. Sad to see, but it's not over yet. The Scallywags still have about 4 minutes to make something happen. We're now watching Bricked as they're in control of this cash out. Does look like STN gets stuck in, like, spotted out, moves over to the stairwell, trying to buy himself just a little bit of time. He is caught on fire and sadly gets wiped in that fight. Now Brick is down to just 2 people, as it looks like After Hours is trying to spot out the last 2 in there. We move over to Uni as he spots one of them going in, chasing them, able to get Stu J just down in that fight. I think there's 1 person left on Brick unless they got a res back up. There is Uni again, bouncing in and out on top, going up and down to 23 HP, having to move away and go for another fight.
Scallywags here for the third party are actually able to take this out from under the noses of both teams, as it's all teams back up to full strength once again. After Hours having to reset, try to find their way back into this fight right now.
Yeah, really heartbreaking to see. And After Hours has done pretty well all throughout these matches, but yeah, they now are down to just one person as they are making their approach to kind of regroup. Let's move over to Cash Out C because it looks like the fighting is starting over there. They are getting set up. The Scallywags, can they hold it? They haven't had much luck. They've only got $3,500 to their name. There's a bounce pad set up. They can demat it down, and if it hits it just perfectly, it should bounce it right out the wall. There it is. It does go out, and now Cash Out C will be in a very open area. This is what we're talking about. I think that they needed to make some plays like this. The Scallywags are set up perfectly. They just got to run it out. We're looking at maybe 10 seconds left on this cash out, and I think that the Scallywags will have it no matter what.
Yeah, Brick have just completely abandoned this point. Scallywags with this cash out in a great position as all eyes turn towards D, where Make-A-Wish got another cash out as well. Make-A-Wish in a chance to have an option for at least second as we're jumping onto the point. Grandma playing very slow here as Make-A-Wish has gone down. Make-A-Wish Kid no longer a factor. This is now a very defensive position, already losing some health. Uses that C4, drops it very quickly. Drops from behind, the mesh is gonna do nothing. Uses the RPG, but the steal still goes out. He rode that thing like a Bronco to the floor, unable to get the steal back, but Make-A-Wish actually, the steal did not go out. My apologies, they're still holding on to it. Make-A-Wish able to deny that, and actually in first place. I thought the steal went out. It was so close. I heard the sound, but he just was able to prevent it. Grandma with the hero prevent at the last second.
Yep, that's what I would call my grandma, a hero diving in at the last second. Absolutely. We're looking really interestingly that Brick is kind of struggling in this map. They do have control of Cash Out A, so this will be their opportunity to come climb back on top of this. This will bring them enough to bring them up to at least second if they can hold control of this. But the Cash Out is there, and the Scallywags are scallying all around them, trying to find their next victim. Apo dropping it down. C4 went off as we move to I'm Light behind you. He is a spot one out and with the AR in and gets some really good shots off, spotting anybody else out through the dematted hole in the floor, trying to get another kill, but sadly unable to get it. We move over to STN, Stu J, as he is getting his teammate back up and gets the res as he can.
Apo, the sole survivor. Actually, Apo was on heavy this match, has switched off of the light completely, just wasn't working for him. Maybe that lag working against him. Maybe that's been helping them. They have a chance to regroup. There's still a full minute and 10 seconds left on the cash out here, A, where three teams are currently. Mad is getting burned down. Only one left on After Hours. They've gotten a revive. Mad is back up as Lasagna retreats a bit. This has also been doubled once again. We have another double. All four teams going to be sitting on this point. Make-A-Wish Foundation, completely dead. They are going to get knocked down to second unless they get a steal, and against these four teams, that's going to be a very tall order. So it really comes down to which team is going to be able to steal this. Can Brick hold on to this against all odds? 40 seconds left in this match. Brick, with no one dead, are still holding off to the side. Mad, very low, is getting pushed by Apo. Apo does have that mesh, gets out of down, but he's turning his back towards Brick. Gets out of dodge, get out of this fight completely for right now. Only 30 seconds left as we get on to the closing seconds of this fight. Somebody has to jump onto it right now.
Yep, and it does look like Brick is very convincingly holding on to it. We're down to maybe 25 seconds left. Time is just ticking down. We're moving over to a Beast Grandma. He has the RPG in hand, trying to spot anybody out from Brick. Get a kill if he can. There is an APS on top of him. He's trying to go for the steal. He has to hold it. If he goes down, he can't get it. We're watching as they just cleaned up and they were able to get it. This will propel the Brick team all the way to the top. Are you kidding me, Walt? From the bottom to the top.
Oh my goodness. Great stuff from them to hold on to that. They just barely survived that initial push by Scallywags. They couldn't convert, and that win, once we got to all four teams, the place it was at, it was just impossible to take back. No way for them to do that. So yeah, it's man, I can't believe Brick once again took a first place there.
Yeah, I thought that this was going to be the first map that they wouldn't perform. I don't know what was happening. They had a kind of a rough start, and honestly, they didn't even find their footing until the last minute and a half, where it got doubled. I'm not sure who plugged in the second cash out, but just absolutely wild to see everybody just diving on there. And then what they
Yeah.
did really well is they kind of spread out. As soon as they had control and they knew everybody was diving on it, they really spread out and just bought time. They bought themselves little tiny fights, were able to win a couple here and there, and it just really kind of just yeah, slowed everything down to the point that we saw what was it, Make a Wish try and dive on there at the very last second, and Obese Grandma just unable to hold it, even with all that health for being heavy.
Yeah. You know what I wonder some of the decision there might have been is especially once we get into these fourth matches and you start to know where your teams
Mm,
are, especially when you have teams like Bricked and After Hours who are sitting at the top right now and will continue to be in the top four, almost guaranteed, no matter what happens with the rest of the groups. Maybe you
yeah.
start to look, and I think this is something we're going to see a lot of when we get to our to the latter half of our season as we start to get into Playdates 6, 7, and 8. These teams are going to start looking at their opponents and who they need to not win. The kind of mental algorithm is going to shift a little bit, and you're going to say, okay, well, I would like to get first, but if I get third, it's okay as long as this guy doesn't get first. So
Yeah.
maybe the parameters start to adjust just a little bit, and maybe that was part of After Hours thought process was let's third party a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it will be really interesting to see how the strategies evolve as we get into the second half of this after kind of the break on Saturday. But yeah, I am just kind of blown away. I am happy that a lot of the teams really were able to kind of come back, even though the Scallywags and Make a Wish seemed to struggle in the last matches. They did come back. Like the from the first map to the last one, we saw an improvement between these teams, and that's what you got to keep doing. If you're one of these teams, you just got to make these small changes. You got to go back and watch these matches. You got to see what mistakes you made, and just kind of how you can fix it. So.
Yeah.
Always fun to see, and really just love to see teams as they adapt and evolve.
Yeah, even Scallywags there at the end, Apo switching off to the heavy, shifting their loadout, their team lineup around completely, was
Yeah.
an adjustment they needed to make. Probably motivated by some of the ping issues that Apo was having, but also just, I mean, if you're not hitting your shots, maybe you're just not feeling it. And the light is such a crucial character in these fights that if you're not feeling it, maybe you swap off and let one of your other flex players have a turn, and that's something that I think is important once we kind of get to as we start to get into cash out and even 3v3. You need to be on your game, and if you have some flex players that can swap around if you really need to, we've seen this from teams like Holtas Finest every now and then, Bricked as well. They can run double medium if they need to. I think that can be a really valuable strategy if you have people that can play both.
Yeah, yeah, and flex players are kind of what we need now, especially since we've brought up that the meta constantly changes. You need to not be locked into just one play style or even one like weapon for your team. You need to be able to change. And yeah, I think that we will see teams loadouts just evolve, change, just completely get mixed up. But I don't know. I think that's kind of my thoughts on Group A. Do you have any kind of final thoughts as we wrap up this group and look towards Group B?
I think we're really starting to see why these teams are separating. The point
Mm,
tallies, while it's not obviously there is like we say it over and over again, there's more time, there's lots of
yeah.
opportunities to gain points. But over time, and while cash out can be chaotic, and yes, sometimes you feel like you can get focused and you can get knocked down, or maybe you lose a double cash out, and instead of second, you get third. Over time, these points are clearly starting to it evens out, and the teams that are really understanding this mode and the teams that know what they need to do are starting to sift towards the top. And we've seen teams like Bricked and After Hours just understand how cash out functions, and they're starting to
Mm.
move towards the top in this group format.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have said it better myself. But everybody, that will conclude the Group A. We do have Group B coming up. We're going to throw to a quick short break as Walt and I get some water and we get the next teams loaded in. But if you are a fan of Fourth Party Cashbox, Ape Squad, Dark Horse, or the Blowers, stay tuned because they will be coming up next.
Welcome to the Finals Pro League. This is the seasonal battleground where teams fight for dominance, bragging rights, and the ultimate title of regional and world champion. Season 1 kicks off with 2 qualifiers where only the strongest make it through. 3 teams from each qualifier will advance to the regular season. But getting there won't be easy. The format? A modified Swiss bracket. If you lose twice, you're out. Win 4 games and you punch your ticket to the league. Simple, brutal, competitive. In the regular season, the best 12 teams in each region battle it out over 2 intense splits, each lasting 2 weeks. Every split has 4 playdays, where teams are shuffled into fresh groups of 4. And if your squad isn't clicking, no worries. There's a short roster change window between splits. The format? Cash out. Placement and eliminations earn points, stacking up to determine playoff seeding. Only the top 2 teams in each region secure an automatic spot in the championship series, so every match matters. Out of the regular season and into the regular playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season start in the upper bracket, while the bottom 4 teams wait in the lower bracket, hungry to fight their way up. The format here is final round 3v3. Lower bracket is best of 1s until the semifinals, where it's best of 3. The upper bracket is best of 3s until the finals, which are a best of 7 showdown. Every playoff match earns teams points towards their season total, affecting their seeding for the grand finale, the championship series. 12 teams, 2 regions, 1 trophy. Welcome to the championship series. With an initial $500 prize pool and growing, this 2-day event will see the top 12 teams from both regions pitted against one another for the title of world champion. The top 2 teams from each region get a free pass to round 2. Every match is best of 3 until the upper bracket finals go to best of 5, and the grand finals, best of 7. Only one team will stand at the top when the dust settles. We'll see you in the arena, where we'll find out who can reach the finals.
It's showtime!
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
The next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold. A storm of epic flashes is brewing this season of the finals!
The stars, distant, watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Osbooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Osbooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Osbooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver.
League day Playday number 3. My name is Rio. I am joined with Waltz, and we are here to cast Group B. Waltz, you want to break down the teams that we're going to be seeing in these next matches?
Absolutely. We got Fourth party cash box with
Yeah.
Brutal Logic, Signal, Cafaneo. We have Ape Squad with Rippy, Hashi, Bimo, and Sonsoyo as the sub. I believe Sonsoyo might be playing today. I'm not sure who's subbing out. It actually is Bimo being subbed out, so it's
Oh.
Rippy, Hashi, and Sonsoyo today. We have the
Mm.
Blowers with Zuki, Strafes, and Ethanol. And then finally, we have on Dark Horse, we have Ant, Cobra, and or sorry, Arock, Cobra, and Sparrow. Ant being subbed out today. Teams that we've all seen third, fourth, fifth, and 11th on Dark Horse. So we got three of our top five, and then we got one team that is sitting at the bottom. Dark Horse is truly the dark horse of this group.
Yep. And but that just means they have the most opportunity to grow and go higher in that leaderboard. So if you do have a team that you want to root for, if you want to root for the underdog, it is definitely the dark horse. And I'm a little surprised to see them there because I think I remember watching them in previous matches and they seem like a good, competent team.
Oh yeah.
So I am excited and interested to see how they're going to do on the first map, which will be Vegas, the newly redesigned Vegas. We don't see it a ton. It's not really picked by a lot of the teams. And so we got to pick it, and I love it. What are your thoughts, chat? Waltz, what are your thoughts on Vegas for these Group B teams?
I love Vegas. I am excited to see what apes in particular pull out on Vegas. We saw Bricked really since
Yeah.
succeed on Vegas this past round, running that minigun. Sansoyo was running minigun last match, and
Ooh.
I think apes might be cooking something up here because the ape squad, not only are they very good players, they're obviously very good players, but the ape
Mm.
squad just overall, the entire Discord, the entire kind of group, they love to cook things up. They love to experiment. They're constantly running their own pugs. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised to see them throw out double minigun.
Really?
I'm just I don't know, maybe double winch, like maybe they
Okay.
drop in like a double medium. Maybe we see I just I would not be surprised if any team is gonna throw something wild out right here. It's gonna be the apes. I don't know if it's double minigun, could just be something. I think we're gonna see something different from them. Just a hunch.
Just a hunch. The apes have learned that they are stronger together. So maybe we will see some wild stuff from them. And just looking at the rest of the list, I remember a lot of people really were rooting for fourth party Cashbox the last time I was
Oh
casting.
yeah.
So I think that is a very stacked group, and I think that it'll be really exciting to see how they do. And as you brought up before, these are kind of the middle tier teams, like the at least in the bracket, or at least in the standings so far. So it will be interesting to see how this whole kind of plays out once we get through four matches. Are we going to see
Yeah.
some people that absolutely just blow through, go up to the top, compete with some of the Group A teams? I'm not sure. I am quite
Yeah.
excited, and I do always love seeing the Ape Squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be going to Vegas here shortly.
Yeah, we're gonna start that match. If we could see the scores just one more time before we head into the map, we'll see. As you were talking about, these groups are right there at the top. Of course, Make a Wish, get to 686. Remember, they already played their four maps. So, as of the beginning of today, this was third, fourth, and fifth. But the Blowers, Ape Squad, and fourth party Cashbox, you'll see very close there, fourth, fifth, and sixth right now. So, like you said, any one of these three teams could have, if they have a great day today, are going to find themselves in the top three, maybe even top two, since After Hours struggled a touch at the end of the Group A. The real question for me is, can Dark Horse pull off something big and start making their way back up towards the yellow here, get back in a less scary position? They're going to be the ones to watch, because I think with three strong teams and a team that haven't performed really well, they have the ability to do something different and take people by surprise.
Yeah, and yeah, I think you are absolutely right. They have the absolute opportunity to surprise us. But as surprises come every day, we do want to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor for today. It is Crash, the Via PR Chief Officer. And if you want to see more from the Via PR Chief Officer, check out his Discord, or I'm sorry, his Twitch stream that's listed off to the right there. So thank you again for sponsoring us, and we are going to get loaded into this map.
Yeah, but nice support there from Via. I did get a discount on my Via headship, and
What?
I think it's made me a better commentator. I think I got that edge now.
Oh man, that's what's messing me with me today. I just I feel like CNS is way too up in my brain.
Oh, you gotta get the new update. And we but we're moving into map number 1 of Group B right now. I'm excited. Anything that you are expecting as we move into this map, this group here. What are your thoughts on this group? Because we kind of talked a lot about what I think.
Yeah,
Who do you want to watch?
who do I want to watch? I want to watch probably fourth party Cashbox because they just have such a following right now. I do also think that in the last group, we saw a lot of doubling of the cash outs at the very end, and I don't know if we will have that happen in this one. I just don't think that these teams are going to do it. I think we're going to see more of both cash outs just get split, especially at the end. But yeah, I think that that is what we will see. And I'm looking at the teams real quick. Is the pink team correct? Is it Make-A-Wish? I thought it was Ape Squad.
It is in fact Ape Squad. We'll get that updated in just a second. Make a Wish really wanted to be in Group B, but the league were not allowed to do so. Sent them back, and they were denied that wish. So Arok switched off from the revolver. We saw him running revolver a lot the other day. He's moved over to the Cerberus. Probably a good choice. He just wasn't quite hitting with his shots. Oh, he just stole the cash block out from under their noses. Sparrow with Grand Theft Vault right now is just gonna nab this away from the blowers as they're playing catch up now. A nice plug, and Arok is dropping down with the rest of his team, fending off this push from the blowers.
Yep, and we're watching the setup now. The blowers are in a great spot for this. They need to kind of make something happen. They are getting one person down already, and they are jumping all around. There goes the goo. Nice little popcorn to block them all off. The blowers are dipping in and out. We are now watching Zuki as he's on that Cerberus. They're not in control of the cash out, so they're just trying to find everybody on Dark Horse and bring them down one, two, and can they find the third one on Dark Horse? He's not been spotted out yet, but he's a little bit further away. They are on the hunt as we watch Zuki, but he's not going to matter as they decide to go for the cash out steal.
Unable to fully get the wipe though, which means that the rest of Sparrow's team is coining in. You only get 2 coins every match, but this is a good a time as any to use one. You're not normally going to be getting too many chances to revive anyways, so they don't have to wipe. They have a chance to immediately turn around and push back in, and Arok pushing in very quickly with the rest of his team, looking for these, looking for this reverse steal. They might actually just go for it. They've set up quite far away. I'm a little surprised. Once again, blowers not set up where they should be. There is C4, so he has the chance to drop it. There goes the C4, brings it down. Cobra expecting this, is pushing in, melting that mesh shield bit by bit. The M60 just does not stop. There's so many bullets. He backs out, actually runs out of bullets there. May not have reloaded in time. Has a nice quick reload though, finishes off Zuki. Already 2 dead for blowers. Looking at the last one. That's a nice cleanup. Ethanol is down, and Dark Horse getting a nice first cash out, starting this group off stronger. They would be if they didn't get pushed by Ape Squad, who are just running them over right now. They didn't even have time. They did get the steal, but this is only 2 of Dark Horse left. He's getting melted down slowly. SH12 Grippy with that heavy is pushing in. This is a double mesh shield Ape Squad as Arok is trying to help. He's doing this by himself. He has goo. Wait, he's preventing them with the goo. The first grenade is there. He's looking for the second. No, but he can't do it. It's too late. Oh, he does hold that. He does hold that off. Amazing work from Arok there at the last second, using the goo, prevents the steal, and Ape Squad couldn't do it.
Wow, that was insane. These teams are out for blood, apparently. That was a great stop. I love seeing Goo utilized more and more in these higher bracket teams. I think that is so powerful. Just having the idea or the ability to throw down an entire brick wall, and you can block off doorways, you can block off entire just people like that, or just stop a steal. It's truly a very useful gadget to have. I feel like a spokesperson for Goo. Have you had your Goo today?
I have my Osboo's branded goo that I like to use. It comes in a very tasty flavor. They tell you not to eat the goo, but I've heard it's quite delicious. Signal looking for that cash out right now. Drops down. Nice use of that DMAT. He's going to get a plug here, I think. Desperately bobbing and weaving. Uses his own goo, but unable to successfully survive. He does get a plug, but his team is very quickly going to lose this cash out to the blowers as they are unable to be contested. No, they are going down. 1 down already. Ethanol looking to back his team up, misses with his shots, able to get away on Cafaneo, drops down 1 versus 2. Is Ethanol going to be able to get a full res? We'll put it back at a 2 versus 2 if they get this up.
Yep, and this is the spot that he wants to be in right now. They're going to go for the steal, at least try and bait them out. We see the res going off as well. Glitch Grenade goes down. He's going to have to pull them off of that. They were able to get the res off, so this is a good position for them to be in, but they are not in control of the cash out. We see an RPG in hand by Ethanol as he gets a shot off, goes and shooting somebody on the top of that roof, but unable to connect the shot. He is now chasing and tracking both of these people on fourth. The next shots, he throws up the mesh shield trying to find anybody else. He bounces back up, throws his dome shield down. He does get circled down, tracks him very well. Can he spot the next one out? He finds him, but can he survive in this fight? How did he do that? Brutal Logic goes down as well as they get set up for the next fight.
Ethanol is playing this masterfully, but Normalize going for the steal. Can they pull this away? But here comes Ape Squad to ruin the day. The minigun is shredding through them. Everyone dead except for Cafaneo. Can he prevent this by himself? Doesn't look like he's even going to try. He's just going to go for a revive, and they might be able to get a steal. This is a double heavy. We haven't had time to talk about that so far yet, but this is a double heavy with double mesh shield from the side of Ape Squad right now, going all in on that defensive posture. They have a C4. They have the ability to drop this, but there is a glitch grenade. Signal riding that cash out down on top of it. He does get the steal prevented. Their dome shield is out, but Sonsoyo doesn't care about a dome shield. He's going to rip through that thing in a second, just like he rips through Signal's health. He's dropping the point himself, looking to prevent. There's that minigun again, doing damage from the top. Brutal Logic is going to go down. Nothing he can do there. Cafaneo again, the sole survivor against Ape Squad, and they're going to come in and just take this away as they look for that final wipe. And there it is right there. Finish off Cafaneo. That's a full team wipe. Ape Squad taking this very handily.
Wow, Ape Squad, Sonsoyo getting 3 kills with the minigun. I love what I'm seeing. We move over to Sparrow as he just deletes Normalize, jumping over that goose, tracking them down. The Dark Horses do seem out to fight today as they're in first right now with 33k. This is the team that we were saying is the underdog, Walt. They have just absolutely stepped up, and they're ready to fight and continue this battle.
All right, Sparrow, I was unfamiliar with your game, but you're impressing me right now. Again, going for another steal. Does get pulled away. Hashi looking to keep this vault as their own. Sparrow dodging and ducking around, has another glitch grenade. That is 2 heavies that are useless without mesh shield because of that glitch grenade, and they're successfully getting this again. It's only Rippy right now by himself on the side of Ape Squad against this pesky little light. He's finished off. Rippy cannot do anything. Sparrow is just on fire right now, unable to get a hold of that vault. He gets yoinked by Normalize. He's rushing this over towards B right now. Looks to maybe get a double, actually. Doesn't look like that's what they want. Cafaneo with the rest of fourth party Cashbox are going to start this, but these vault cash outs are so close together. We could see one team just take both of them, and Dark Horse with a chance to get first for the first time this entire league season so far.
Yep, and cash outs are ticking down. As Walt said, they are right next to each other as we're watching Dark Horse set up on the Mega Dome where they can oversee both of these cash outs. I don't think they're in control of either of them just yet, but they need to make something happen if they want to stay in first place. The time is ticking down. We maybe have about a minute 45 left for these cash outs. Cash out B just ticking down. I'm really curious what Sparrow's doing. He's not spotting anybody out, but now he drops it. I think there was some C4 on that cash out, which means it needs to go down inside of that building, which is going to make it even harder for them. I don't know why they're staying on the Megadome. They're not getting anything done. We were just commending them a few seconds ago, and it seems like they're just letting everything slip. I'm not really sure what they're doing here.
I think they really just don't want to get committed to a fight that they're going to lose, but they finally decided they have to go find here. Corbra with that M60, again doing so much damage with Sparrow on the back end. Airok is just crunching them. 2 down already for the blowers. This could be an opportunity for Dark Horse. Running towards B with all they have right now. Normalize is the only one left, and Airok is going to stick on this. There is the mesh shield. The glitch grenade goes out, but on the rooftop, Sparrow is fighting 1v1 with Normalize. Normalize does have his team back up. They both coin, but there's no one lost on the side. Sparrow does go down, though. Unfortunately, that's a loss for them. They have to get this revive. Can Normalize prevent them from doing so, but Corbra is going to stick on this. Does have some nice cover. Airok on the rooftop, though, is getting quite low. Drops down, but they're getting aggressed on very quickly by the blowers. The M60 versus the SH12 playing around that bubble so massively. Ethanol goes down. Corbra still alive, holding on to this. Everything he has, only 30 seconds left. Has to back out for just a second, waiting for his health to regen. He's getting pushed very close, but he does get taken out by Zuki, but Zuki is the only one left on his team. 1 versus 2. He's getting picked down very, very low. Sparrow again finishes Zuki off, holding it for his team. Dark Horse are going to get first in this match. A is about to end as well, but Dark Horse are the real heroes of this story. Cafaneo, 4th Ape Squad, trying to hold on, but they are going to get wiped as well. 4th Party Cashbox taking 2nd, but Dark Horse with the victory of the day.
Yeah, definitely the victory of the day. We were just before we got into this and I was looking at the standings, I was like, "Oh man, poor Dark Horse. Y'all are so far down the leaderboard and it's really going to be a tough battle." But wow, they have come back. You can tell that this is a team that took everything that they learned in the first 2 play days and were like, "We have to learn. We have to figure out what's wrong." And I am amazed. But Sparrow with 12 kills? Are you kidding me? That's your star right there. That is an amazing light. He had 12 and 2, guys.
Yeah.
His KD was 6-0. Like,
He had
what am I
more
watching?
kills than Ape Squad combined and Blowers combined. 4th Party
Oh
Cashbox
my God.
had 13 kills. They had 1 more kills as a squad than Sparrow had by himself. He was running rampant through this lobby. 6 kills on Arock, and that all started with that yoink from Sparrow right at the beginning with that gateway play, drops down, yoinks it away from Blowers, just catches them unaware, and then Airrock with the last second goo grenade against 2 heavies in that first cash out to just propel them and give them a momentum they need. Like, your team has to the vibes are immaculate on your team. The
Yeah.
comms have to be just so high when you get that steal and you get that last second hold against 1 versus 2. They clearly were feeling themselves today, and it is showing right now.
Yeah, and Waltz and I are excited, and I hope that everybody out there is as well. Even if you're not a Dark Horse fan, this is your day to root for them. Can they keep it going in the next 3 maps? Or was this just kind of a fluke? I don't know, but I am so excited to find out next in the next map. But let's kind of break down a few other things that we saw in that, because we did see a minigun. Sonsoyo was running it. We saw 2 mesh shields being used. We just spent like 10 minutes talking about why mesh shield might not be the best thing, and we see 2 of them in here. I don't know. Let's break down Ape Squad, because that you kind of predicted that it would be a little weirder, and I think you were right on the money. Can you talk about what they just did?
I think actually this was a perfect case study for why Double Heavy has fallen out of the meta a little bit. I like what they were trying, though. I think with the minigun, it's really interesting because the minigun plays a little bit differently than your standard heavy. He's playing a little slower. He's relying on his team to sort of cart him around. And so they wanted to run another heavy to sort of do something a little bit different, to maybe have that beefy tank, have a front line for your minigun. But the problem is, running double dome shield, double mesh shield, and a single glitch grenade is going to remove the utility from 2 of your players. And I think that's why we saw double heavy start to fall out of favor. And I'm not sure if it's going to work for them. Now, they still got 3rd. They were very close to getting 2nd. I'm glad they're not changing off of it yet. I really want to see if this works, but they need to be really cautious about getting all of their utility blown up in half a second.
Yep, and we'll see it as they do seem to be running heavy again. And real quick before we get started, we had a massive donation from the Via PR chief. Again, he threw in some extra cash for that prize pool, and it is almost up to $1,000. So thank you so much, Craft. You were awesome. And we're just getting right into it as Sonsoyo is running with that minigun. He is trying to find anybody he can. Dome Shield goes off to stop him for just a second, but Brutal Log gets deleted in that fight. Sonsoyo gets spotted out by Rippy and just deleted as well. Rippy! And Cataneo goes down again. What is this fighting from the heavies? They are bringing the punch today.
Oh my god, that could not have been closer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the hero of Last My Sparrow with another kill. That's a wipe onto Blowers as well. Sparrow getting cleaning up there. Airrock with 3 kills already as well. They're in control of a cash out, and clearly they're happy with what's running right now. Sparrow is moving forward. They're going to get a nice quick plug. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Ape Squad getting their plug as well. So both cash outs about to get started. A in firm control of Dark Horse right now, as they are waiting for 4th Party Cashbox most likely to show up and contest them.
Yep, and cash out will get started. There is a red barrel in hand, breaks open a nice little hole in that wall for them, or in that, I don't know, flooring for them, so they have a nice little vantage point. Sparrow seems to be really in control of his movement and positioning. We see him set up here, but I don't even think anybody wants to fight them. Dark Horse seems to be the scary horse right now, as nobody is even over here, and I think that maybe we should go to the other cash out.
Yeah, B is where all of the action is right now. Everybody is showing up there in Ape Squad. Everyone, this is the interesting thing about this point. The fights almost never happen on the point. They fight off of it. Sansoyo there with Rippy, the Lewis gun with the minigun. There is so many bullets coming at you in such a short amount of time. Sansoyo still not dead as well. Very little health on him, and that double mesh shield is going to allow them to just walk out, but the blowers are continuing to push. They've already taken out one, but they do have a revive. Hashi keeping his team up and trying to keep them on full health as much as he can, blocking off the sight lines with that goose on Soyo. Rippy on the ground, very low health once again. He's staying alive. He's finally gone. Sansoyo with that minigun takes a reverse kill though. Zuki's the only one left. Cerberus versus Cerberus. He loses that one, but Zuki is going against the full might of this minigun right now. Can he win? He cannot.
Sad to see Ape Squad gets wiped in that, but we move over immediately to Zuki as he's down to just 50 HP, and he tries to get the res. Normalize, his teammate did coin back in, and they are all back up and ready to fight and continue it going. The blowers are making their move towards cash out B, but they need to spot anybody out. We do see that fourth party cash box is set up on top of that, and I don't even think they know it just yet. The bounce pad set up, they're about to dive on top. There's an RPG and just hits both of them as we see them trying to follow it up. Brutal Logic goes down in that fight. It is just down to their last person, and they're trying to stop it if they can, but nobody is there. There is some C4 on the point, but there is a wipe for fourth party cash box as the blowers take this cash out.
Yeah, fourth party cash box thought they were real slick. They came in, but on the other side, Arok looking for a kill. Arok is down though. Look, we've lost last possible second. No, they're getting melted by Sparrow and Corbra pushing in onto the point. I thought they had a chance to steal, but Corbra and Sparrow were not allowing that one to happen. It is a very quick wipe from a 3 versus 2 to a quick team wipe for Dark Horse. That was brutally quick.
Yeah, and really kind of wild to see how the cash is rolling right now. The top two teams seem to be really having a nice dominant control. But there is Sparrow as he gets spotted out, but it doesn't matter because his teammate Cobra is able to just follow it up with the M60. RPG goes off, didn't really connect with anybody that he needed, but he goes back to it. That M60 dealing a lot of damage, but sadly he gets killed in that fight. Moving over to Normalize as he sets up, and he's watching his team as the cash out gets started for him.
Setting up a little bit further away, has eyes onto Sergnal. Gonna take Sergnal out. He got a revive. Is Normalize going to push on this? Brutal Logic definitely going to be getting a revive behind the burning goo currently. Does have them up, and that's full strength for fourth party cash box. They have a chance to push onto blowers. Maybe, push them back on them. They actually have control of a vault blower, so they're going to run to the opposite side of the map, go for C. Meanwhile, blowers have to face a push from Ape Squad right now. It's already been dropped with that C4. Rippy bouncing around on point. Normalized with the sonar grenades, has eyes on where all of them are, and a great angle, but he's pushing into a mesh shield right now. Takes out a bubble as well, but he's looking and pumping in more damage. His team is aggressing, but no one is dead yet on either team. The medium, heavy, medium working right now, but Sensoyo is quite low. Hashi is quite low. Rippy is getting pushed back again and again. He's being pushed on Normalized. He is taken out. He is down. Normalized, half health himself though. The minigun is keeping them heading away. They cannot push against Sensoyo, but he's dropping down. Sensoyo is aggressing into them, and he's just jumping into his own death. Meanwhile, behind them, Dark Horse shows up out of nowhere. Third party's a cash box and gets the steal.
Yeah, what am I watching? This is just absolutely wild. And we're watching Normalized now as he spots the next person in his crosshairs. Cash Out D is ticking down, and they are not in control of it. If the blowers need to get on it, this is their time. They are in first, but it all can change in just a few minutes as we watch Normalized bouncing in and out of those buildings and in and out of those windows as well. He did get chased by a Cerberus, and it did not work out well for him. We move over to Cobra as he is in control of the Cash Out. For Dark Horse, they have it, and it is just buying time. He's getting one kill. Can he find the second one? He gets dashed away, and they're looking really good as they hold this cash out.
Fourth party cash box have mere seconds if they want to contest this. Corbra sets off some gas. They have a glitch as well on the point, but Can fourth party do anything? No, everyone is leaving. Everyone's running all the way to the other side of the map. We're heading over to C, where Apes respawned and stole it away. Fourth party cash box willingly walking away from a cash out that they controlled. They had C in their possession and tried to fourth party all the way across the map, taking their name a little bit too seriously for their own good, and it's actually going to hurt them right now because they have to fight against 3 teams. Rippy with Ape Squad desperately holding onto this position. Hashi is low, not a lot of health left on his team, and he has to regen, but they're all in a group now. Sonsoyo with that minigun is looking to do some damage. He's getting pushed by Brutal Logic. He's getting pushed as well by Signal. 2 members dropping on top of Sonsoyo, but he's able to get away. They have to go for the steal. And now, but C4 is just going to melt Signal as he drops onto the point. That's a double C4. Just melts the man. He is gone. And that's a 3 versus 1. Brutal Logic, the only one left. Fourth party cash box, as Apes decide to just go ahead and continue their aggression everywhere else.
Yeah, that was really quite comedic as he dived on it. I think that he must have spotted for like half a second before they blew up the 2 C4s that just, yeah, exploded. Really funny to see from the perspective. And Sonsoyo now still rocking that minigun. Not sure how many kills he has just yet, but it is always fun to see. Yeah, let's see. Sonsoyo. He has 5 kills with the minigun. Wow, he is actually making it work. And really looking at the whole scoreboard for everybody, this is a really balanced map.
Yep. I honestly, I'm calling it, man. I think minigun, acceptable meta. It's not, I mean, it's not meta, but it is, it is an option. It is not a bad option if your team plays around you. We've seen so many people put it to work, and that is not something I expected. Over to B, Dark Horse again in control of a cash out. Cobra keeping down those angles with the M60. He has a lot of height on them, but has to get out of the way. Half health currently, drops down with the rest of his team using a nice DMAT entry, but he's getting pushed, drops his own dome shield, turns around, looking to deal damage to Ethanol. Arok drops down some nice scoop, but he gets shot with the Cerberus from the side. Already one down, but Zuki is very low health himself. Ethanol tries to finish off another goo, walking off this fight. 3 members up on blowers, takes out Cobra, only 1 member left. They have to hold this right now. Arok and Sparrow are back, very low health, only about 30 health between the 2 of them. Arok is regenning now, 2 versus 1. This turned completely on its head, normalizes by himself. He gets caught out by Sparrow, he's down! Blowers cannot take this away from Dark Horse, and Dark Horse looked like they're taking first for the 2nd match in a row.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a minute left, and the other cash out is very just started and seems to be in control of Ape Squad. So Ape Squad has the opportunity here to get in second, at least very solidly, but the blowers are right behind them with a little bit of cash, just a little bit less. So if they are able to get in there after they respawn and get the steal, it's really what they need. But we are watching the 4th party cash boxes. They've been struggling a little bit in this map. Moving over to Cafaneo as he has a goo in hand, throws it, and probably not the place that he wants. He's now holding a glitch grenade, tries to get it off. His team is going for the steal. Probably not the best move. Lockbolt went down as well. Glitch grenade as well. They're throwing it down. He spots one of them out. It's the heavy. Can he chase? He throws down a mesh shield or dome shield. Unable to follow. It is down to just Cavaneo. He's the last person left, and he gets chased into the stairwell. Sadly gets wiped with his team.
Normalized following very closely. He's just moving from kill to kill right now, but they need to get a steal at some point. Blower is still in control of this Normalized. Ducking in and out. Has him very low. Looking for that second. Looking for that follow-up. Finishes off Sparrow, but Pharaoh, his team is there to back him up. Cobra and Arok going to get a revive real quick, but they're getting pushed once again by the rest of the Blowers here on the point. Blowers looking to finally get a steal, but there's gas on the point. Ape Squad are holding onto this with everything they have, and Ape Squad taking second place with a solid map 2, making the double heavy work.
Yeah, that's what I expected from Ape Squad. I expected them to perform just like that. They did make 2 heavies work, which is wild. We were talking about how that's really not meta anymore, so it's cool to see somebody trying something different, and it's actually working out for them. But for Dark Horse, what the heck? They're just staying on top. They are ready and just do not want to be in the position that they started today, and I love it. This is the wildest I've ever seen any of those teams, any of that lineup play, and yeah, it's just really inspiring, honestly.
No, they took the break from last Saturday. They sat down, they figured out what needed to happen, they came up with a game plan, and it is working, Rio. It is working. It is not a fluke. They managed to put it together twice, and they look dominant. This isn't just them coming in and taking a cash box here and there. They're not third partying everything. They're not just playing around the periphery trying to find a way in. They're playing confident. They're moving as a team. Sparrow and Arok and Cobra. Cobra with that M60 is just
I
putting
know.
hurt onto these teams.
Yeah, and honestly, it does look like Cobra is also running from a console. So that makes it just a little bit harder. Not sure if he's running a controller as well, but that is interesting to
Yeah.
see. In that whole lineup, only one console player, and they're on top. So it's a really good loadout for them. They're
Yeah.
doing some amazing things. And did you want to say something, Welts? You put your hand up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just realized we had an M60, an
Okay.
SA-12, a
Yeah.
minigun, and Lewis gun in this match. That's
The
four
spectrum.
different heavy weapons that are being played in this match. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
If you told me 2 months ago that was going to happen, I would have laughed because it was SA-12 all day, baby.
I know. Well, and I feel like all we're missing now is a sledge, and maybe we'll see it in the next group. Who knows? And it's funny that you bring that up too, Waltz, because I saw in chat a while ago somebody was asking like, "What is the heavy meta?" And like, I didn't want to bring it up because I don't know right now. Like, I don't think anybody knows. There's not that one gun that seems to be the dominating performance. You find the weapon that seems to work with your playstyle, and I think that's what's really cool about heavy right now. I mean, do you have any? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts, Waltz?
No, I agree. I think maybe and like the SA-12 has kind of taken a couple like hits here and there. The
Yeah.
they've kind of dropped like the SA-12 is like some of the reload things, but I think maybe the minigun really encouraged people to try some new stuff. Also, just the amount of play that people get to have. This is one of the things we haven't gotten before. There's so many chances to play. People get to try different things. But before we jump into the match, I want to shout out our prize pool for the Pro League has cracked $1,000, guys. We've
Oh
cracked
my
a
god.
thousand. Let's get hyped for that. That is incredible stuff.
That means the prize pool has doubled, everybody. It has doubled in just 4 play days. Thank you, everybody in the community. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting Pro League and Pro Hubs because they are the best out there right now in the finals, bringing you the content you want to see. And you know what I love to see? Fortune Stadium there, Waltz. This is my favorite map and probably some of my favorite teams as they get started on Fortune Stadium for map number 3.
Oh yeah, I am really enjoying seeing the variety of playstyles we have on display. These have been some really throwdown matches so far. Some really exciting stuff as we're following fourth party Cashbox as they're engaged in a fight with the Blowers. A little bit of chaotic fights happening right now, and Brutal Logic is being pushed by 2, but he's holding his own against Suzuki as Normalize is looking for an angle on him. Backed off, nobody did so far. Both teams just licking their wounds, trying to find high ground as Signal is quite low right now as well, but dashing around. Normalize has angles onto Brutal, but Brutal gets his mesh shoot up in time. No glitch to follow. One down already. Zuki gets taken down on the backside, and Normalize has been found by Signal. Not taken all the way out, though. One down for both teams as Cafaneo goes down on the backside. Brutal Logic going to get a full res. He is going to successfully get that, so 3 versus 3. Once again, this fight is going on for ages, and the vault only just now opening. Doesn't quite work. There's a jump pad. They're looking for the height advantage, getting onto that roof once again. Signal going very aggressive onto them, but has not found anyone. Backs off once again. This fight continues to go. Patience from Signal. Looking for that hit. Nice finish. It's Zuki. 2 taps him. Is going to turn around. This could be what blows the fight wide open. Looks for that second. Normalizes down. Tracks him. And that is the heavy Ethanol trying to just run with this and get a plug. Can he make it there in time? He is going to get that throw. Misses the throw. No. Just taps it in. Is able to go there. He's probably going to die here if he, honestly, might just jump off the map. He's going to try and survive. He gets away. Successful steal back from fourth party Cashbox, but what a fight.
Yeah, and we see Sergil just trying to spot him out any spot that he can. He is right on top of them, but he doesn't know. He found him behind the wall. What is this? The Cerberus charges into, but he goes down in that fight, and they are bringing it to them. And look at this. They try and get the res off. Does look like Cafaneo brings down a lot. And there is Ethanol as he grabs a gas grenade, but I think that brought him down. Really sad to see. And 3 teams are all diving on top of this cash out. We're moving over to Sonsoyo as he now is chasing. What is he doing? Why is he leaving the cache?
Has to get out of there. I think he was taking too much damage. Turns around. The entire Ape Squad lineup has bailed out of here. Looks like they want to wait. They can't decide where they want to go. Not looking at Dark Horse whatsoever. Dark Horse completely uncontested as 3 teams are looking towards B. Not sure the thought process here. Apes kind of struggling to figure out what they want to do right now as every team is just kind of setting up. Blowers on the backside, jumps up, gets high ground. Both teams staring at each other from across the expanse. Glitch nades are out. Knock down some mesh shields so some long-range damage can get put into them. And Ethanol is pushing in with a glitch canister as well. Cafaneo gets found out. He's down in the blink of an eye. A 3 versus 2. Blowers have a chance to get onto this point. They have a chance to steal it. Has another glitch grenade left as well. Could knock out any C4 that's on the point, but I think he spotted Brutal as well in the distance, looking for that steal. Finally, hold on the point as Signal drops on top, but Normalize has eyes on everyone, just doing damage again from range. Signal is down, but there is a coin from Cafaneo. Cafaneo is back. 2 members of them here. Apes have shown up. They've finally gone for the third party, though. They're in the rafters, dropping down from the skies. An Ape squad have wiped fourth party cash box, and Blowers only have Zuki left. Zuki tries everything he can. He has a goo grenade, but it's not enough. The double heavy holds in the last second third party, and Apes are just going to take this one.
Yeah, that was a really good performance from Ape Squad. They came in there, they bullied everybody that was left, and then just dived on it and were able to kind of block it. That is the advantage of having 2 heavies, because it is so much health and so much of the mesh shield that you need to bring down. Like, that would have taken so much time to bring both of them down, and it really just secured them that cash. It's a very interesting play, and I'm a little surprised that it's that we don't see 2 heavies in play more often, because it is great for that, but there is also the disadvantage as well. So it is kind of that yin and yang thing. You got to find that balance within this game, because it is definitely there. Cafaneo decides he hates windows and just wants to break all the glass as he continues to elbow them again and again. We're going to move over to the Vault 3. It looks like a lockbolt just went off. Sergil is stuck in the corner there. Lockbolt finally ends. Moving over to Brutal Logic as he puts up that mesh shield. He's down to just 48 HP as everybody around him is just dying. Lots of combat, lots of switching of the camera. Hard to follow, but there is Cafaneo as he gets a wipe and is getting his teammate up in that fight.
A nice win from Cafaneo. Very tight there. Fourth party cash box. Apes were fighting back very hard. They are going to get this vault, but a little bit staggered as Dark Horse, again, already starting on the cash box, currently facing off Blowers. Cobra gets taken down, already lost 3 still up for Blowers, but Ethanol gets wiped from behind as well. Arok finishes off a second with that Cerberus, but can't finish off the third. Normalize, clutching it up for his team. They're going to take D away from the hands of Dark Horse, and Dark Horse have to respawn and figure out what they want to do next. Could push for the first time in this match.
Yeah, but it looks like immediately Ape Squad is here. They're ready to get this cash out. They dived right into that window. They are here. We're watching Rippy with the Lewis gun. Can he connect his shots onto anybody? They might go for a bait and try and steal this cash out. No, I think they're just going to commit it. There's the dome shield going down. Nobody from the Blowers is stopping them. They are just able to take it. Sansoyo with a minigun blowing them back, but there they have it. Now they're in full control. This cash out is halfway done. Can Ape Squad continue to hold this as it slowly ticks down?
They have a really strong position right now. It's going to be hard for Blowers to find a way to get in. Now, Zuki does have that Cerberus. He could set this goo on fire if he wants to. The question is, does he want to save those bullets? Because they have spotted Ape Squad. Sansoyo drops down very far. They could get spotted, but he knows where they're going to show up. Zuki looking for the opportunity. C4 drops the point. Following in here, Rippy has a red barrel that he throws in as well. Has an RPG at the ready. Looking for some damage onto Blowers. Does drop it. Doesn't hit anything, but he finishes Normalize in half a second. Looking for the second. Does finish off Ethanol as well. Only one left on the side of Blowers, but they do get the revive. Zuki and Normalize still back up. Looking for a revive here. Rippy doing damage into Dark Horse, who is here now as well. Dark Horse trying to third party this cash box. Everybody right here right now, and it is Dark Horse dropping it once again, but Ape Squad are still holding on to this. Only one left. Sparrow, the only one left on his team, and Ape Squad are firmly in control of D. I don't think anybody's going to be able to take it. The timer is out, and Normalize is just looking to get some kills on the back end, but he gets chased very quickly by Ape Squad, just surrounded by 2 of them. He does get a return kill. Very nicely played, but quickly melted, and Ape Squad, with a solid third party, are able to rebuff everybody else and get that cash out for them the second this match, where they just brutally third party.
Yeah, the amount of third parties that happen in the NA side is just wild. It really feels like I was casting the EU side on Saturday, and this just didn't happen. We would maybe see a third party at the last cash out or at the very end, but not here, not just halfway through the map. I love the different play styles between NA and EU. And guys, if y'all do too, go back and watch the VODs from the EU, and you can see what we're talking about, how the differences are between these two teams, or between these two regions, actually. actually. But we're going to move over to Zuki as he finds Vault 5. He's going to get the tap on it. There is a lock bolt in place over there, but he does not get affected by it. Nope, I take it back. He gets affected by the next one. He is stuck there. Everybody is just going in and out of this gateway, trying to find any shot that he can. Zuki at 10 HP. He does demat through the wall, but unable to save himself, and the blowers get wiped in that fight.
That was a really nice play. I love the use of the gateway to keep themselves mobile so that Ape Squad couldn't just gun them down. But unfortunately, with the minigun, you can just kind of keep firing, and he's gonna track you. Sansoyo is not gonna let an easy aim situation like that. And they're actually just taking this vault far away into the corner. Ape Squad are gonna camp this thing, and nobody's gonna take it from them. So all eyes are gonna look at 6. Sergno just with a 2-tap finishes off 2 members of Dark Horse in control of 6. And the question is, do they also want to hold on to this? They want first place. First place does matter. So Cafaneo might try to blow this, but blowers have found them. And now Zuki with the cash out. Looks like he might be able to get something. Cafaneo jumping up and down. Keeps looking for a kill. Does get a assist onto Ethanol. That's 1 down. Looks for the second. Dashes in. Pushes off Zuki. Only Normalize left. But Normalize is dashing for that point, and Cafaneo probably wants to let him get this. They need this cash out to get put in. And Ape Squad definitely do not want this to double. They want to keep this off to the side. But Dark Horse, are they going to go for 6? No, they're just going to run straight for A. Everybody with their eyes set on that point right now. They have a chance to get the backstab onto Ape Squad, as currently fourth party Cashbox going for the steal. Blowers are completely wiped, as Normalized with the last one left. Nothing to do there. But Ape Squad quickly moving on to the point, have a chance to bring this down. That double heavy already been found. They've got a little bit of fire damage on them, but they're resetting for just a second. Every team looking at A.
Yep, every team is here. Nobody's really going for the Vault 5. They want to bring the fight here at Cash Out A. Fourth party Cashbox in firm control. Cash Out halfway done, but everybody is starting to swarm. We see Ape Squad. We see the Dark Horse getting there in as well. If Dark Horse wants to get up to the first, they need to get this Cash Out. But there is Brutal Logic throwing up his mesh shield and some goo to bring his teammates a little bit around. They do reposition, and they're in a great spot. They demat through the wall, and they're able to get right back on top of that cash out. Brutal Logic throwing down the dome shield, following out of the chase, following out of that wall.
Oh, the gas!
He goes down. The gas is stopping the steal. Everybody is here diving on top of each other. Fourth party Cashbox is able to keep it, and they are taking first in this map 3.
Just a killing floor right there. Nothing that they could do. I saw Apes at the last second tried to drop onto the point, go for the fourth party if they could. But that was such a hard position. That cash out is on the edge of the map. There's really only one way that you can approach, and stealing that is going to be so brutally hard. So fourth party Cashbox holding on to that very nicely, and that does put Dark Horse in third, but Ape Squad taking a very commanding first place, and smart smart decisions there at the very end. Don't plug that last vault. They know what to do. Yeah. They've done this 1,000 times before, tens of thousands of times before. They know not to double that when it's going to cost them first place.
Yeah, and that is a good analysis. You know that the bottom 2 teams, Dark Horse and the Blowers, would have loved to get that cash plugged in and then stolen, but it really was fourth party Cashbox's map. They seem to have really good control basically the entire time. But I do want to look real quick at the Dark Horse, and Cobra only has 0 kills and 1 assist with only 900 damage. I don't know what happened there. He was our star in the last few maps.
Yeah, he was really, really strong. I'm really impressed by what we've seen so far. I mean, fourth party Cashbox, we knew they played really well. Really good stuff from them. And just overall, these maps have been kind of unpredictable, more unpredictable than I expected. Obviously, with the teams that were very close in skill, third, fourth, and fifth, we knew that they were going to be quite close. But Dark Horse really surprising us and really in the mix here, proving that just because they might have had a couple bad matchups in their first 2 days doesn't mean that their third day is going to automatically count them out. You really can't count anyone out in these matches because you never know when a team is just going to really come into their own.
Yeah, and there are so many opportunities to do that, and we do mix up all of the groups every play day, so you don't have the same teams. And like Walt said, it does give you the opportunity to kind of grow and find, your footing in there. And some days are harder than others, and some days are like this, where we didn't even think the Dark Horse would do well. We thought that they would struggle, and they have come out on top, basically all of the maps except for this last one. And it does mean that they have one more opportunity to impress us. But I don't know, Walt, I think that fourth party Cashbox as well, this was their first like really solid performance in a map. I think that they seem to be a little bit behind in the last ones. I think that they got like second in most of them, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think that they did right in this last map?
Just really smart play around the just really smart understanding of the tempo of the game. Knowing that at that last moment, the only thing that mattered was getting that plug. They were fighting blowers for a bit there, but that last minute Cafaneo letting Normalize get that plug, not fighting him once again, because he knew that both of them needed to plug that in. Both of them wanted to have that cash out to fight over. And even though Blowers Normalize plugged it in, knowing he was going to get wiped, knowing they were going to have to come and retake it, he still needed to put that in. So it was just smart play from fourth party. They're always solid. They always get the kills. They play really well together, and they just know how to maneuver around the game. So I think it just clicked for them. They probably had the right fights, and it just worked.
Yep, you are correct. As we load into map 4 on Bernal, this will be the last map of this group. So if you have a favorite team, root along, or even if you have a favorite color, they're now your favorite team. So root along, everybody. There's a lot of you in chat, so let's get the hype going. We are watching Sergil as his teams all of them have the red barrels, throw them off, break the holes in the wall, in the roof. Dome Shield goes down. Brutal Logic just beating people up with that M60. They have to go for cover, and it does not work well for them. They are going to get spotted out as well, and it does look like fourth party Cashbox gets wiped along with the blowers.
Dark Horse again, starting off very, very strong. Corbo with that M60, it's just working for him today.
Yeah.
Something about the air, it's just been setting them off. And so they're going to get the first cash out, actually. A bit of nice tempo for them. They're going to plug into B very quickly. Ape Squad going to have to run through the blowers on their way to A, so they can get mired in another fight before they even get a chance to plug this in, as we see Hashi already stuck with that goo. Looks to block off the fight, keep things separated. Here comes BMO dropping in. Grandma logs into the game, meanwhile, as Hashi, sitting here with his jump pad, looks to get his team up into the air. Sansoyo, the only member he has left alive. Sansoyo spinning that minigun, does get a revive. They're under Rippy, brings them back up, but Sansoyo very low health. Hashi has to go on the offensive, finishes off Suki, but he's gone himself. 2 versus 1, Rippy the last one left on the side of Apes, is looking for a revive, just has to get out of there, but he's getting pushed by Ethanol very, very hard. Can't get away around the corner. He gets spotted. Can he last? But he cannot. Apes getting knocked out on their way towards A, and Blowers even getting the plug, so they're sitting with Dark Horse right now on top of the map. But back over on the other side, Signal looking for the kill, has that red barrel. They're trying to get the revive on Dark Horse, and they're able to do so. 3 versus 3 once again. Dark Horse weather the first push from fourth party Cashbox, but 2 hits. Sparrow is down. That light has been knocked out. Are they going to be able to get the revive once again? He does get the defib there. Goo blocking off the fight. Both teams having Goo, keeping the fight separated, blocking those sight lines. The Cerberus doing damage back in and out, but Signal has to get away. Can he survive? He cannot. 1 dead for him. Nobody dead on the side of Dark Horse, but they're all quite low. Airlock is down, looks to get the enemy as well. Only Cafaneo left, but not a lot of health left on the enemy team. And Cafaneo is down. Nice pickup from Airlock, clinching them that fight.
Yeah, this is insanity. Just the movement that they have with the D-mats and then following it up with the Cerberus. It is a brutal combo, and it's one I think I am really inspired to go back and play some more. But we're going to move right over to, it looks like, Ape Squad as they try and make the approach to Cash Out B. Cash Out B has maybe 15 seconds left. Dark Horse is in firm control of this. They need to just buy as much time as they can. Clock is ticking down. Haish running around with the Cerberus, trying to spot anybody out. He does find one person, but he's a little bit a ways away. They are now going for the steal, but I'm not sure they're able to get it. I think the cash out dropped. It did, and stopped the steal just long enough, and I think that Dark Horse will get it just from that drop, but we're still watching Haish as he's running around, trying to spot anybody out. D-Mats through the floor. Where can he find the next person? It doesn't look good as he kind of gets lost and trying to find anybody else. There is somebody on the rooftop. Can he climb around? There he is. He is behind them with the rest of his team now.
Ape Squad getting a nice pick. Airrock still alive, able to squeak out of there, so he's going to get some revives, but Ape Squad have moved on. Meanwhile, the other side of the path, fourth party Cashbox are slowly eliminating blowers. Only 1 left on that team. Zuki getting away, is regenning, and he's going to drop in just a second. A full revive onto Brutal Logic as Signal gets his teammate back up and might be able to spot blowers as they get out of here. Both teams looking to get to this next vault. They don't really want to get stuck in these kind of pointless fights. Fourth party Cashbox really need to get out of here. The wipe really doesn't matter if you're going to be set so far behind behind. And Apes, with the nice movement there, are already on 3. It's already done as Sparrow is pushing in, looking to take this away from them. Fourth party Cashbox getting the tap on 4.
Yeah, and looking at the scoreboard, we see that the Blowers and Dark Horse are in firm control right now. They are the ones that are holding it up, and they have been pretty dominating forces in all of these maps so far. There's 4 minutes left in this one. Lots of people over by Vault 4. Vault D, or Cash Out D, is surrounded by the Blowers, it looked like. As we move over to Dark Horse, it looks like that Vault just got yeeted halfway across the map. Maybe they will able to get it, and does look like Dark Horse is able to get in control of it. I'm not sure if they're the ones that threw it, or if they just intercepted it, but it is good to see as they make their way towards, what is that? Cash Out B is probably the closest one, or is that D? Hard to tell.
Cash Out D there. They're going to try and plug this in. Apes, only 1 member left. They got wiped as they tried to push in, and Apes tossed the vault away because they didn't want Blowers to get it. But that just went right into the hands of Dark Horse, like you said, who were third-partying this fight. And Aerok already losing some health, but they've successfully gotten the plug. His team is currently scrapping around the point right now. Cobra on the ground is very low. Aerok is there to back him up. Looking for Normalize, trying to find that light. The light is dashing around, but he has eyes on him. 1 shot, goes through the wall, finishes the second shot. He burns down. Burns to the ground. Blowers have been wiped, but Ape Squad still alive. They all regen. They're back on the point now, jumping up on the backside. They're on the roof. Aerok has to get back and support his team. Looks to use that goo to separate the sightlines. Once again, they've been doing this all match. Has the D-mat. Does he bring it down? Does drop it. The steal has been prevented. Blocks off the sightlines as well, keeping his team alive, keeping the team separated so that Apes just have to go for it. Korba looks to try to get a peek on the enemy team, but losing a lot of health. Aerok as well. Very low. Needs to reset. Apes, nobody does so far on Sansoyo is just running over the enemy teams. A nice revive from Aerok. Does get his heavy back up, but he gets it in just a matter of seconds. 2 currently left for Dark Horse. Can they survive? Got his heavy in a very difficult position. Sparrow is the only one left, while all 3 are still up for Ape Squad. Looking for the steal now, and Sparrow does have enough time to reset and let his team recover before they go for a retake.
Yeah, and this is where you want to be as Sparrow. You want to get your team up. This cash out has half of the time left on it, so it's enough time for your teammates to coin in or get the res on them. And this is what we see. We see them slowly making their approach on it. Cash out is ticking down, and Ape Squad is in good control. Can Ape Squad hold their defenses long enough to stop the Dark Horse as they make their approach? We see them all kind of grouped up in this corner. Bounce pad there as well. They are ready to just demat that down and bounce it up. Oh no, he doesn't check his corners, and he just gets deleted by Sansoya. There goes Cobra, and another one of them from the Dark Horse is very low as well, as we watch Sansoyo as he's bouncing on that bounce pad, ready to go into their faces and just delete the rest of them if need be. But it doesn't seem like he's gonna get the kill. The cash out will just run down pretty uncontested. Nobody is diving on it. Cash out has maybe 5 seconds left. RPG goes off, and we're now watching the minigun as it cleans up. Can it get the rest of the Dark Horse teammates down? There's one looking for a second, maybe even a reload needed in there. Mesh shield up as they're trying to find the very last person of Dark Horse. He seems surprisingly resilient, but there it goes. There is a wipe and a very convincing steal and hold by Ape Squad.
Ape Squad held on to that for so long, and Aerok did not check his corners, like you said. Honestly, maybe better he didn't, because he was able to get out of town, but still dropped at the end of the day, and Dark Horse just couldn't get that retake. Very close scores right now. Fourth party Cashbox trailing a bit behind, but they're looking to get this plug over in the amphitheater. If they can do so, they have a chance to make it to second. I don't think they have a chance for third, though, but Brutal Logic has been caught by Ape Squad, looking with that minigun to get a pick onto this heavy. Sansoyo, nice movement from him. It's quite hard to do this, actually, but he has eyes just getting melted. That mesh shield is not going to last very long. You have to get out of town, but that minigun is after you. The dome shield, I'm not going to do anything for you. 2 down already for fourth party Cashbox. Cafaneo getting the hell out of there, but his team is down, and Ape Squad have a very easy path towards this point. Again, Cafaneo trying to survive with the minigun. He just cannot be stopped. Sansoyo is just not going to let him run away. The gateway is there. He tries to escape. The middle gets tapped. The gateway is gone. The RPG goes out. Sansoyo is just wiping the entire team. Fortunately, Cafaneo survives long enough that 2 members of his team are able to coin.
Yeah, this was wild and really just be. Over to the side of it. This is a great spot for them to be in, and I'm getting like to see this over and over again with the Ape Squad. They seem to be just playing so close together. They don't want to spread out, and they don't want to get spotted out. There is a sonar grenade that went off, so they are spotted. They do know that the entire team is stuck inside that one room, but they demat the roof, and they bounce out of there. They bring the fight to them, and we see their mesh shield goes up. A lot of people taking a lot of damage. Fourth party Cashbox trying to find any kill that they can. Sonsoyo very low, being chased in this fight. Sadly goes down, and fourth party Cashbox is looking for the last person. Can they find them? He is out in the middle. They did get a res off, so they're bound down to 2 people left again, but they need to make something happen. Rippy very low. The steal is going off, but there's gas on point. Everybody is just dying around. Cash Out has maybe a fourth left. They're very low, but fourth party Cashbox is still alive in the fight. They're trying to go for the steal if they can. Dome Shield is down. They're holding it. Rippy's very low. He gets wiped. Can they hold this for long enough? They're holding it, but no, they get pulled off of it. They have one more opportunity to just hold on. They need to stick E for all of their life and all of that they can. I think that they have it. They got the steal.
Oh my God.
Done. Fourth party Cashbox, followed up by the Blowers in first place.
Holy cow, that was crazy. They kept coming in. I thought for sure Sonsoyo was just going to melt them both with that minigun. A combined 40 HP on the side of fourth party Cashbox there at the very end. Just barely allowing them to steal that. But on the other side of the map, Blowers were successfully able to hold off Dark Horse, which did mean that Dark Horse unfortunately took fourth place by only 3,000 there, just below Ape Squad. A very tight match on map number 4.
Yeah, that map had everything that I wanted to see in it. I loved just when Sonsoya was chasing people down with the minigun. It was great to see, and his teammates really supported him in that as well. And I do like how we're kind of starting to see how the Ape Squads play. They have a very, group together kind of mentality, and it didn't work out for them that well in that last fight, but it is kind of helping them, I think, overall. So really exciting to see, and fourth party Cashbox came back. They had Brutal Logic with only 1 kill, but they were still able to get it. So really convincing. I think this was a great group, honestly. They seemed really well balanced, and I don't know, I loved all the matches we saw.
Oh yeah, really, really good stuff. You said it there. Apes together strong. They knew that just had to stick close to each other. But everyone really kind of getting their time. Fourth party Cashbox had a win. Apes had a win. Blowers getting their win here. Dark Horse, maybe I think actually fourth party Cashbox might have been the one that didn't get a first place.
Yeah.
But Dark Horse with 2 first places here. Everyone getting some really solid points. I'm really intrigued to see what these standings are going to look like as we get to the end here, because I guarantee you Dark Horse is going to be shooting up a lot. Their stock rising a lot after these matches. But yeah, they surprised me the most. Blowers were struggling a little bit at the beginning, really put it together that last match.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to give a shout out again to Dark Horse because they were the underdogs and they performed like the overdogs. They were just on top of it. They had 2 first place wins, not what I expected at all. And honestly, probably some of the most fun I have had in this group so far, at least today. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this group. I think that we can kind of wrap this up unless you have any final thoughts, Waltz.
Nah, I mean, anything can happen in this game mode, especially with cash out. Teams are going to go up, teams are going to go down, but
yeah,
these come from behind victories, and it's really exciting. This is why we love this game mode. This is why I really enjoy this format that the Pro League have cooked up, and a really good stuff from them. But like you said, that pretty much wraps this up here. We have another group for you, so don't go anywhere. We're going to run to a real quick break as we get our next lobby set up for you guys. We'll be right back, and stay tuned for more games.
Showtime!
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all,
The stars. Distant. Watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via. We as one.
The life giver. The sun. Always on. The source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's Sun Insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau. Brighter than ever.
Absorbe ce que c'est. Monde. Monde. Pour misérables et fortunés. Absorbe. Ce que tu désires devenir, c'est ce que tu
Hello and welcome back to the Pro League Regional Playday number 3. This is North America. My name is Rio, joined by one of my favorite people in the whole world, Waltz. How are you doing so far as we get into group number 3?
I'm doing great, Rio. I've been having an absolute blast. These games have been really exciting. We've kind of seen the gamut from really dominant teams in lobbies with our first group to a really close
Yeah.
series with that group B, and a bit of a literal dark horse run through the group. And now we're on group number C. We're in our match. We're about to jump into our first match, but we do want to run down the teams real quick. 200 MS, Burger Boys, House Finest, and Team D. This is a team. This is a group I'm very excited for because this is 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. At the start of today, they were ranked those groups. It's all four in that order. This is
Okay.
probably going to be a tight lobby.
Yeah, tight lobby and probably some of the most recognizable names as well. I think that a lot of people know Halto's Finest, and Burger Boys has quite a following just because of who is on the team. But you see all of the colors that up top. I've said it before. If you have a favorite team, root along. I love it when I see the chat just blow up. But if you don't have a favorite team, find a favorite color. You know, pink looks kind of cool, orange, red. Who knows? If you're a purple kind of guy, it is something to choose and somebody to root for, which makes this just a little more exciting. And there's Team D with the organized intro and also Halto's Finest. So I gotta appreciate when in a team wears the same outfits, it has that kind of team unison. I was talking about the Scallywags needed to do it earlier, as they have done before. But we are loaded into Vegas as we get started with group number C.
Oh yeah, and of course, I don't want to be too biased, but I do love watching Team De Llama hopefully running that sledge. That's the real question, and he is in fact, so keep an eye on them. But right now, focusing on Burger Boys on the high ground of Hotel, looking to perch and get an idea of where things are moving. They have tapped Vault 2, and they're looking towards B, but here's Vault 1, also very close to them, got tossed over this way by House Finest. Is this going to be a very early double? That would be something interesting, because Llama's grabbing this and running towards B. Now, this is an interesting play, because we have 200 MS with the potential to move this to A. I have no idea where this is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like they've taken it and just run it, and they're going to get B started immediately. But you're right, that other vault is very close, and it could mean that at any time they're able to just bring it over. But we move over, and there is Lamp running the minigun. More miniguns, love to see it. He throws up that mesh shield, bouncing in and out, throws down his dome shield on top of his teammates. Really good play. Brindy goes down in that fight, but he is just bobbing and weaving and gets a wipe on 200 MS almost immediately, all with the minigun. Lamp, I love to see it.
Very nice stuff, running the busy build as well there with the dome shield, the lock bolt, and the dome. But over on the other side, Team Dig getting melted right now, just blown apart by Burger Boys. They're going to take B very convincingly back from jumping in on the end of that fight, as Belize getting all 3 kills. 3-0 on him, the only one with a kill on his team right now. Just going to wipe them in a matter of seconds. Start this off strong. Llama with 2 kills, but was out last play date, so he unfortunately was not able to play. So Tarabi taking a second, figuring out how to play together again, and they are going to have another chance at this in just a second.
Yep, they're making their way to Cash Out A. Cash Out A is about a fourth of the way done, a little bit more than that. Halto's Finest in firm control. They are set up. There's a bounce pad. They're ready to dive onto it. A little bit of a hole in the floor for them, but Groovy, as he moves in and out, goes for the res, but slowly gets killed when he went for the res. It's really not what you want to have happen. 200 milliseconds down to just their last person as he gets chased as well, and we're watching the bars just slowly die down. Can somebody wipe him? There it is on 200 milliseconds. Finally going down.
Ran continuing to be one of the only people I see run the 93R. Back on the other side again, Spring Hour is in the face of that sledge. He had to back out. All 3 of them still alive, but all 3 left on Team D as well. Does get the nice flick. Boo Boo is down, but he has been taken out. The rest of Burger Boys are down. A reverse steal. Team D taking this back from Burger Boys, reclaiming what was rightfully theirs, moving into first place in this lobby and looking towards the next vault.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the Burger Boys were in firm control. We move over to Halto's Finest as they're not even sweating a little bit as this cash out is just running down. We see them emoting, having a good time, maybe make some mojitos. It is Vegas. I think that they're in the Aspuz Lounge, so maybe they can pop, pour, and pour themselves a nice little drink there as they hop away from the cash out that will be securely theirs. We move over, and it is Wolf as he tries to dodge the hammer, but the hammer gets a bonk on him, but the hammer goes down as well. Spawn's moving over there now, using that AR, gets a good kill on Brand. Now he's trying to find his next victim, Gateway in hand, also on top of that vault. It will help him move that vault if he can, but nope, doesn't decide to go for it, just wants to move it. He will bring it over to D to get this cash out started.
Nice plug from them. All three members of Team D are up, and it's a good thing they are because Burger Boys are on their way. As well as here come Holthouse Finest looking for another kill. Three teams looking at D right now. Burger Boys did get a tap on 4, but decided to run all the way across the map. Live commit. Keeping eyes out for the rest of the team. There is a gateway. Team Dick getting out of there. You don't really want to go through that against a sledge heavy. That is just dangerous. Decides to turn around, looking instead for this point. They might try to go for a quick steal. Brandy sitting on it, but there's like commit covering those ankles. Takes us very quickly, moving in, progressing. The rest of Voltas Fine is collapsing on top of Team Div, but they're collapsing on top of a sledgehammer. There's Llama taking out one, but he gets picked off by Lycommit as well. Boo Boo, the only one left on his team, but he does get taken down. Lycommit pushes in at the wrong time. Boo Boo is by himself, but he's getting chased by the rest of Voltas Finest. Brendy finishes him off. They have to go back and get their light up. Lycommit is still down, but on the back end of this, Burger Boys take a quick steal while the fight is happening. They are now in control of this, and Voltas Finest have to go for another fight. Looking to find Burger Boys using that sonar grenade, trying to find them right now.
Yeah, and it has kind of slowed down just a little bit. Cash Out C did get started, but we are watching Cash Out D. Halfway there, watching Halto's Finest try and get their team back up, and we see Lamp with that mini gun. He does go through the gateway, potentially moved away before I could tell, but this Cash Out is just working its way down. Don't even really see many people by D. It is just slowly ticking down and firm control by 200 milliseconds. No, I take that back. That is the Burger Boys. Some of these colors can be a little hard to see, but the Burger Boys are there. Can they stop it as Halto's Finest go for a steal? There's Brindy throwing down the dome shield as well, continuing the steal, and Lamp just holds down the minigun. They did get deleted in that and unable to get the steal. One of them went down. They have to get the res. They have one more opportunity to get the steal, but they need to stick it.
Police!
Shot from
Oh
the
my
roof
God!
above them, and sadly they get wiped in there, but there is one person left, Lamp, with just a trickle of health, and he is going to get the steal. Well done, Halto's Finest.
Just running in one by one into the minigun. Lamp surviving on 9 HP. That was just a single pellet, would have ended the fight right there and then. But Halto's Finest getting a nice take. Cash Out C, like I said, already started. Brand holding the high ground, looking for a way into this point. 200 MS been soundly rebuffed everywhere they've gone so far, but they have an opening right now. They've already gotten one quite low using that 93R. He gets out of dodge. The gateway able to escape him, able to get some distance in this fight, but Spawns is down. Brand looking for another, might have gotten eyes onto Boo Boo. Has he seen him? Boo Boo is very exposed, but he just hasn't had eyes on it. The winch grabbing him from above. Llama with the hit. Does go down immediately. They're unable to get the steal, but Boo Boo still alive. He's taken down. 1 versus 1. Brand versus Boo Boo right now. Can he win this fight right now? The cash out is down, so the cash out doesn't matter, but Brand goes down anyways. That was a jump scare if I've ever seen the winch from above. Ooh.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen that from his perspective because that was wild and very scary indeed. But moving over to Brindy as he gets the cash out started, his team follows him up on the floor above, but they are immediately spotted out by the Burger Boys as they come in to try and cause some havoc. There is Spring Hour with the Cerberus taking shot after shot, dematting the floor down, getting his teammate back up. Belize is rezzed and he's trying to go for the steal, but they have to pull off of it because they did get punched in the face, basically. Spring Hour running away, Belize down as well, graduating at full health, but they are very split up. This is not a good look for the Burger Boys as Spring Hour is the last person alive. He's now got to wait for his team to get rezzed or coin back in as we move to the next fight.
Yeah, Burger Boy's struggling right now. Going to get out of here. Meanwhile, 200 MS not engaged with this fight whatsoever. Are going to plug on the backside. Holthouse Finest sitting on this have rebuffed everybody. There was 4 teams on A for a second, and they've all just run away. They don't want to deal with Holthouse Finest as people start to look towards Vault 6. Plugged into Cash Out B right now. Here come Team Dip looking towards B, looking to take this away from 200 MS. 200 MS need this. We're in the last 1 minute and 30 seconds as Brand very low. The rest of Team Dip have their eyes firmly set on this Cash Out and a very good chance to take it away from them. We're not going to get any more vaults. This is it right now as actually turning around, Team did decide to go back towards A. They want this fight. They don't want to have to contest 200 MS. Not sure if it's the location, but we're looking at 3 teams once again over at A.
Yeah, A is about to be a battle zone as we watch spawns set up on that Mega Dome, as well as some goo. There's Sonsoyo, or I'm sorry, the Lamp, as he's being chased down. Sadly, unable to spin that minigun up in time and does get wiped. But we are watching them as they bob and weave. That cash out steal is going down by Team Dit. Can they hold it? I think it dropped down and they're going to have to stick on it again. There is the steal one more time. They are trying to get it, stick it if they can. Looks like we lost maybe one person, but the map is too far down. And that means that we're going to have to pause. But I take it back as the pause goes out of effect. And we're watching Graduating with the XP. Cleaning up one after another brings down Llama as well. Just a few seconds left and it does look like Haltos Finest was able to get in control of that cash out. We're still watching Graduating dip in and out, trying to connect with any other fight that he can, but we're down to the last 20 seconds and the last cash out is running low.
An unfortunate disconnect there at the last second, but it was too late to really matter. The cash out was firmly in Holthouse Finest favor. No steals could go out, and the teams are too far away to do anything over on B. Holthouse Finest taking a commanding first place as Graduating does get a kill to soften the blow, but they're going to take a distant 4th place in this map number 1 on Vegas.
Yeah, interesting performance. Haltos Finest came on top and they really did seem to lead it. But looking at the rest of the scoreboard, it was kind of closer than I expected. A few people straggling, but yeah, I mean, good first map for this group and really kind of shows the firepower and the stopping power that these teams have.
Yeah, really strong stuff from Holthouse Finest. We have seen them struggle a little bit in these last couple play dates. They haven't really gotten their feet underneath them. A little bit of a
Yeah.
switch up here. Lamp running, like I said earlier, the build that we saw Busy running right at the beginning. The minigun, Dome Shield, Lockbolt, and C4, no RPG. Just really relying on his team. Something that Lamp decided he's going to make his own, and it worked for them. That minigun just providing enough damage, enough cover in these fights that Light Commit can do what he wants. Rounding this out with 7 kills. 200 MS, pulling up a nice 2nd place, but that was kind of anyone's game. A little bit, honestly, Team Dick could have pulled it out there. I'm not sure why they chose to go after Holthouse Finest box at the end. I think they were angling for that 1st place, knowing that they could steal it from Holthouse Finest if they got that cash out, but they maybe should have just gone for the easy 2nd.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you're right on that analysis. But looking also at the Burger Boys, pretty not what we expected. Graduating had 9 kills, so that was a kind of a big player in that map, but they just weren't able to kind of get the right kills at the right time. I mean, we've seen the Burger Boys, everybody knows who Belize and his teammates are. So I kind of I didn't expect them to be in last place, at least in this group. But this is only the first map. Maybe they just don't like Vegas. There could be a whole lot more because these teams have played a lot, and Vegas is still technically kind of new. It changed a little bit, but probably not enough to really impact teams. I don't know. What do you think? Was there enough change to really impact how teams play on Vegas?
I think so. I think the biggest change is a lot of these kind of the changes that not a lot of people notice. Like for instance, there's a door here, there's a wall here, there's a
Yeah.
a different ceiling here. The little things they got rid of a lot of the clutter, so things like
Mhm.
DMATs are a little more consistent. You're not going to hit maybe objects in the environment as much. You know where it's going to drop to. You don't have to worry about these massive drops as much. Places kind of like the bar area are a lot easier to work around. So I think the change does affect how people play a little bit, not drastically, but I do think it has an impact on the match. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, it does look like we're going to take a quick pause before we load into this next map. We had a disconnect in the last one, and it seems like that player is still trying to get back in there. It does happen, though we don't have a ton of these pauses, so the game isn't crashing for everybody. It does crash occasionally for some people. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, do we want to go to a break as they get that done? Maybe throw some ads on.
Yeah, I want to
All
give a
right.
quick shout out before we go to a break to sponsor Crash, the VIA PR chief officer. Incredible support from Crash so far. He's been continuously putting the weight behind the scene, making sure that we can do what we want to do and support these guys. So thank you, Crash. Go check out that Twitch channel as well. Show some love. We're going to head to a quick break as we wait to get everybody loaded back in.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Rio. We had a quick little break. I'm joined again by Waltz as we are going to load into map number 2 of Group C, which will be on Skyway Stadium. We don't see Skyway picked a ton. It's not like the most popular map, but I quite enjoy its aesthetics, so it'll be cool to kind of get into it, especially with this group of players.
Well, this is where I'm going to disagree with you, Rio, because I do really dislike Skyway Stadium. Easily my most hated map. I don't like this
Oh.
map. I don't like the way it plays. I would happily play any. I'll take that back. Maybe Kyoto. It's probably even with Kyoto for me. I probably like Kyoto more than this one. Very hot take out here. That
What about
said,
with the high rise variant?
High Rise is the worst. High Rise, Skyway. No, not sorry. High Rise is fine. Elevated structures on
Yeah.
Skyway Stadium is the worst variant in the
Yes.
entire game. I hate it so much. But this isn't about my hate. This is standard issue, fortunately. So this isn't about my hatred of that. We're back in the game. Our teams are loaded in. One thing I want to point out from last match as well.
Hmm.
We talked about some teams underperforming, but it is a very, as we pointed out, this is 6th through 9th. So these teams are very close to each other right now, and I think we need to just kind of expect some volatility in these results.
Yeah, volatility, absolutely. And you're right. These are kind of the 6th, 7th, and 8th teams. Like they're not on top, they're not on the bottom, but they're kind of happily in the middle. But it could be anybody's game. Alto's Finest has given us a really strong performance. I do love that we had a minigun every group. Waltz, I remember Group B. We've seen one Group C. Was there one in Group A?
Don't believe there was one in Group A. That might have been the only
Okay.
group where we didn't get a minigun. We do see it a lot, though. It is a very consistent pick, and we've talked about how kind of exciting that really is to see. And I hope that we continue to see that. We'll see how things move forward. One thing I want to shout out here as well as we kind of get into the match. Jerry did put out a questionnaire where he asked people what their hot takes were, and Llama, the Sledge player, said he wants Stun Gun in its original form back. A Sledge melee player asking for Stun Gun back. That's some confidence.
Yep, confidence, but I'm not sure it's really what you want to see. But there it is. He is getting one kill. Can he get another? Was that Police running the sledge? I saw it for just a half second, but It was. Production confirms. What are we watching? I've never seen Belize run a melee ever. I
I
haven't
have
watched him
not
stream in
either.
a while, but maybe things have changed.
Well, I'm going to tell you
Uh,
what, it's one of two things. It's either Belize has some secret tech, or this is a bit of a rage moment from Mr. Belize. Might be a
oh.
little upset over the end of last match. I'm going to go with the former. I think maybe he's got something up his sleeve, and I'm going to hope for the best, as they are respawning very quickly. The fight did happen before the vault was even tapped, so they have time to respawn and camp up on B, and Belize with that lollipop is sitting over here about to put the hurt onto 200 MS, get a little bit of a revenge as they try to find a way into B. I'm pretty sure they know exactly what they're moving into. They know they've had time to respawn. They know how the spawns work on this map. So the question is, how do they get there? Looks like we also have an elevator cash out, so they have to get into this point.
Yeah, they have to get into it, and usually we will see them immediately winch claw the entire cash out. They don't want to play inside of that elevator. I quite like it when they do, but it is a very, very close quarters place and not really what you want to do. So there is the plug. Are they going to go for it? I don't see them moving it just yet. They are barricading themselves in it. I have to eat my words almost immediately as Belize and his team, the Burger Boys, start to make the elevator go up. They are very securely kind of locked in there. Belize is just pounding away at that cash out box as his teammate is kind of set up a little bit above them. But here is 200 milliseconds. They have spotted them out. They do know that they are in this elevator. They're on top of them. Gas going down as well. We see Grudy as he bops in and out. He sees one in the stairwell, trying to get any connecting shot that he can. Sadly, unable to find the shots that he needs. And we're going to have to watch him as he gets reset.
Rudy setting up outside. Like you said, not able to get any kills so far. Each team pretty solid. Get some high ground, looking to get into this vault. But this is an elevator, and the reason I think they're sticking inside is because they have a sledge Rio. You do not want to get in close combat with Belize as he is swinging. Grudy does get a revive onto Brand. This is graduating has just been annoying them, a mosquito for them. They haven't been able to do anything right now. Graduating has just been ducking in and out. He finally goes down. Wolf finishes him off with an RPG. Brand going to get a revive on the high ground as Wolf looks for his way in. But he's going to be back up in just a second. The elevator continues to go up. This floor, this fight has been on so many levels right now, but Wolf looking for this final push in. Hits a red barrel. Doesn't do a single point of damage, though. Tries to hit Belize from above. They do take out Belize very quickly. There's Spring Hour down as well. They have to rely completely on Graduating. Can he get into the point? But he's stuck away. There's no way for him to even get into the elevator. He just has to wait helplessly while his team respawns, and he's just going to turn and run away from this point as 200 MS getting this back.
Yeah, and we saw the final Burger Boy jump off the map there so that his team could respawn faster because they have absolutely lost that cash out. Moving over, and Lamp is chasing people down with the minigun. He goes through a gateway. Dome Shield is just being shredded by that. He helps Bobo go down. Can he find the next one? Spawns goes down as well. There's going to be one more person from Team Dick. Can he spot him out? There's the minigun churning it up, and Llama goes down as well. Team Dick with the wipe, and Halto's finest with a very convincing cleanup.
Nice cleanup from them, but they did not get the cash out. Team Div were able to hold on to that. Llama at 6 kills already, so clearly he's doing something right in this lobby so far. We haven't seen Llama fight Belize yet, so interested to see if we do get a sledge off later on. But Holthouse Finest moving very quickly up towards 3. Nice shots from Lycomit into the back of the 200 MS team. Doing some damage, but the goo is separating this fight. A lockbolt holding them back. Crazy movement there. The jump pad is pulling him back as he got away, and that's 2 down already. Once again, Brand the only one left alive on his team, but he is doing some damage. A lot of damage put into Holthouse Finest already, but like him, it does have an angle. The rest of his team cleaning him off, and Brand is down. That's a full team wipe. Holthouse Finest in control of this vault, but once again, they have to move into the waiting arms of Team DIT to get to point D.
Yeah, that was wild to see. Good aim, good tracking. They are jumping into the Lion's Den right away. Lycomit trying to commit in his shots, but not really finding any that land. He has to go to a new vantage point, finds one, gets him down very low. Llama runs away. Bobo low as well. He spots out there. Light spawns is deleted, and Team DIT are down to very low HP. Can he spot them out? He's chasing them. He's looking for them. He spots one of them down, gets them, and getting the shots off, but not enough. It looks like they even even have a teammate res back up, so Team Dip has all of their people all on top of there, and it's all on Lie Commit as he can't find them. They have gooed themselves off. They are buying themselves time. There is the minigun as it's being chased them. They have split up in this fight. Bobo goes down, but it looks like one person is left on Team Dip. Can they find him? I'm not sure.
Llama jumps off the edge of the map, makes it a full team wipe. They just got chased so far. Like Commit kept hounding them, preventing them from getting any regen either. They just kept getting pushed further and further away. Back over on C, 200 MS fighting for their lives right now against the enemy, looking for some more damage as well. Burger Boys doing what they can against them. Belize is down. That's already one down. Can Graduating go down as well? No, he's still very low, but he gets wiped. That's it on the back end. Bran pulling it out with 4 and 2 so far. 200 MS. Getting a steal back. Burger Boys not in control of this one, but a quick aggression. Here come Team Did. They've fresh off of their loss. They want blood right now. Pushing into this point, looking for some kills. Bit of a disconnection already, but here comes Llama chasing after one. Llama takes out one on the backside. 2 dead already. Wolf, the only one left on his team. The steal is going to go out, but Wolf, can he use that winch to prevent it at all? But Llama has eyes on him and misses his winch. It does drop the C4, preventing the steal. He has to finish him off now, where the steal is going to be prevented. The winch holding it again, but he can't quite do it. The steal going out, and that is Team Dis successfully getting the third party. They're just going to have time for this, and they are putting themselves in first. Again, one more cash out left. One more set of vaults about to spawn.
Yeah, and we move immediately over to Halto's Finest. They have the cash out. It is starting to run down. Maybe 10 seconds left. If there's a steal that's going to happen, it needs to happen now. One of Halto's Finest gets lock bolted, it looks like, and they did go down in that fight. Lamp spinning up that minigun, able to stop the steal from going off and gets a solid kill as well. Can he follow it up with a second one, but sadly gets wiped in that process. He is now looking over at Belize, but we now move over to Vault 5 and a gateway as they take it and try and run and get this started. Or are they just going to try and control it? No, they are going to try and get it started at B. They need to get as many points as they can because the spread is really not that far off, Waltz.
Oh, but Llama turns around and just eliminates Bran with a drop. Drop kicks him from the high ground, crushed him with basically a charge and slam. It's all on Wolf right now. Wolf versus Llama, but he gets completely melted. Llama turns around. 200 MS thought they were the ones chasing, but turns out they were the ones being chased as Llama just crushing them underneath his hammer. All of Team Dip playing really well, and Burger Boys now try to make the same play that 200 MS did, but they're facing the same problems. Jumping up on the high ground, Like Commit already losing some health, but he finds himself right in the face of Team Dip. Already one down though. Belize wins the hammer off, is able to push in, and they've been dropped by that D-Map. They're going to have time for Llama to coin in just a couple seconds, but Boo Boo is very low as well on the backside, graduating, waiting for the rest of his team, figuring out where they are. There he goes, drops after the rest of his team, looking to finish off one. Can he do it? He does. He finishes off spawns. That's actually a team wipe. All 3 of Burger Boys still up and able to go ahead and pull this off from Team Dip.
Yeah, I didn't think Burger Boys was in a really good position for that. Honestly, they seemed to kind of be struggling in that fight, but they did take it. Really good performance from their Light. We move over to Light Commit as he is very low and being chased. He does go invis, but down to 25 HP. He stalls long enough to get his health back up. Brindy's still down, and the cash out is being stolen. He needs to try and stop it, but there is his teammate. His teammate just coined in or res back up, but there it is. They are trying to get on top of it again, but sadly their Light goes down in that fight. They're going immediately for the steal, trying to hold it. They are in a good position. Halto's Finest gets their third back up, and they are able to steal it really convincingly. Can they hold it for the last 15 seconds of this fight?
Yeah, they have to wait for their whole team to coin in. 200 MS is looking for this position as we're holding on this point right now. Gets onto the high ground. Lamp has his minigun, spins it up, but he's taking too much damage. He goes down. 3 versus 2. Holtos Finest have to hold on for another 12 seconds. The timer is ticking down. They have to hold this stick right now. The heavy is down. All they have is DMAT. There's no C4, but the drop is going to prevent them. Only 5 seconds left. Holtos Finest are holding onto this position. They're losing members, but they're none able to get the steal. 200 MS cannot take this. Holtos Finest with another first place.
Yeah, Halto's Finest in first, Team Dit in second, and honestly, both of these teams seem to be going at it really hardcore. I'm not even sure what Halto's Finest is doing correctly because they just seem to be on top in almost every fight. Just really fun to see, and you know what? Lamp is really making it work with that minigun. 7 kills to his name, and I don't know. Are we going to see teams start to kind of ignore Halto's Finest? Because it seems like the fighting really is happening between the bottom 3 teams.
Honestly, you might see the opposite. Because I think Yeah, they're playing really well right now, but they're playing. If Holtas Finest keep winning, you don't want you know that you're close to these teams. Holtas Finest are in a solid position with points, but so are these teams. They're all very
Yeah.
close. If you let Holtas Finest do too well, you're just going to play for you really want to play for second when every match is about these points? No, you need to get first place. You cannot let yourself continue to fall, or maybe some of these teams are going to make a run. You need to make sure that if a team like Holtas Finest is feeling it, you need to find a way to shut them down. I don't think these teams should just
Yeah.
be avoiding. If this was a ranked scenario and you just need to qualify, sure, ignore Holtas
Yeah.
Finest, get second place. Second place is not good enough when you're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and it will be interesting to see if they are trying to get like maybe some vengeance and come back and stop them. Because yeah, the more that they can stop Halto's Finest from climbing up even higher, the better off everybody else is, literally. But also, I'm really kind of surprised that the Burger Boys seem to be struggling so much. What do you think that's going wrong with the team right now?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I think it might just have to do with Holthouse Finest just really finding their stride in this lobby
Mm,
right now. They've been doing a
yeah.
really good job. They've been playing close together. So when Holthouse Finest are playing as a team, when the communication is on point, they're incredibly difficult to stop. Playing against Team De really throws your sense of the entire game out of whack, so it can be hard to do so. I think Burger Boys are probably just finding themselves playing against really good teams, and I think that just becomes difficult for them to handle at times. It's just like sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. I actually hope to see Belize stay on the sledge maybe here, because
Okay.
honestly, he was doing a good job with that. The sledge was working. They did a better job in that match than they did in any of the previous. And yeah, they got third, but it was just because Team Dig got a last second steal on the other side of the map that we didn't see right at the end of that fight. The able to get that steal back. So they had a chance for second. I think they should stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bold play. And I mean, I don't know. I've just never seen Belize on a sledge. So if he is able to make it work, yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know, but we are loading in to Sis Horizon. As you said, it's one of your favorites. So yeah, this should be a very fun map to get into. All the teams are here. Alto's Finest, can they get another first place victory on Sis Horizon?
They may very well. Just check. Belize is back on SA12, but we're with Holtas Finest right now. Brendy goes down in the blink of an eye. Holtas Finest already down one member. They've lost a second as well. Team De only lost one. Llama may have a chance for a full revive. Spawns holding down these angles as Llama looks to get this backstab, but Spawns is not going to let him get a kill. He says he wants one for himself. They're going to get a revive. The cash out, the vault already been tapped. As we head back to the other side, like I said, Belize back on his SA12. Grudy, pick up that jump pad. They haven't lost anyone. Both teams with 3, but they have an ability to hold. Oh no, a bad gateway actually. If they'd waited a second longer, they would have been able to catch Burger Boys on their way out, but Burger Boys not waiting. Now have an easy path to that cash out as we cross paths in the middle of this map right now.
Yeah, it was a very interesting gateway. They were almost on top of each other. We're now watching them kind of move that cash out over towards the other side of the map. Both teams are converging here. Great shot and great tracking by Grudy, bringing Spring Hour down just immediately. That is the downside to bounce pads. If you have good tracking, you can just absolutely follow somebody in their pathway as they move up and down. And that's exactly what we just saw there. Great tracking. He's chasing Belize. Can he get another kill on it? That winch claw just pulled him directly into a nice little hug from Grudy and his teammates as they get the kill. They're going to get the steal pretty convincingly, I think. It does look like Halto's Finest, though, might be teaming up and diving on them. There is a lock bolt drumming right on top of it. They're all locked. They're all stuck. There's a winch claw, pulls Lamp out of position, but it is all down to just Wolf, and he dies sadly. Really good play from Halto's Finest diving on there. Brands is there as well. He does go invis. He's down to just 1 bar, maybe even a little less. Can he survive? He's buying the time for his team, but there's the steal coming off. Lamp is going for it, and they get him. What? Lamp pulls off, gets the kill? Are you kidding me?
He kept the minigun spun up even as he was going through that steal. Brand tried to show his face when he heard the steel going through, and Lamp just snipes him out of the air with that minigun. But here comes Graduating, looking for that pick. Lamp is by himself. He does get a revive, but instantly the RPG from Belize blows Brendy up. Lamp is surrounded and brought down by 3. Nothing he can do here. Belize is going to chase him down and quickly finish him off. 2 down, only like commit. He has a great advantage, but he can't really do anything up against 3. This is going to be a very easy steal for Spring Hour, and Lycomet has to make the decision. Does he want to wait for his team here? He has already one coining in. Brendy is back up, but Lamp is back up as well. But Lycomet gets taken down. That's a huge stagger. Only the medium and the heavy left, and they only have about 20 seconds left to push into this as 200 MS looking to spoil the party as well. 3 teams focusing on cash out. B, Wolf, they have to push in a second. Only 20 seconds left on this cash out. They have to get started. Graduating, dueling with Brendy on the top. Lycomet goes down. Brendy goes down. Lamp drops to the ground. Graduating very, very low. The seconds are ticking away. There's no chance to steal this cash out, and Burger Boys taking a cash out for the first time, what it feels like in a while.
Yeah, they did take it. They were able to get the steal and really just kind of splitting up Halto's Finest when you can kind of separate them up and make it where there was just one person left, really just bought them everything that they needed. They didn't get the wipe, but they did get the split, and that is almost as good. We move over to Wolf as he goes through a gateway, ready to get the vault with his team, and I think that they're getting ready to plug it as well. He's just waiting right now. I don't think that the vault bounced properly or it even got glitched, and I think that their gateway in forcing them to now move back over to Vault 3, but I think Vault 3 was just stolen by the Burger Boys. It was stolen right from underneath them. This is not what you want to see if you're 200 milliseconds. Both of these teams now have vaults, and they are running to get them plugged as soon as they can.
Oh yes, and Vault 3, they're getting harried on their way by 200 MS, chasing them in on the other side. Team Dick gets that plug as Wolf looking for damage from range. The MS just not really hitting with it right now, unable to catch Graduating as he pushes away. Bran, you see him on the high ground. He has the height advantage, looking for a pick on, hopefully, Graduating been playing so far away from his team, and he's been using it. The angles have been fantastic. DMAT on the floor. They have eyes on Burger Boys following after them, keep moving through these holes on the floor, but eventually they have to turn their eyes towards this cash out. Rudy re-healing there, but on the backside, Bran has found the enemy team as we have both teams licking their wounds, setting up the angles they want to have, and the cash out has already been dropped, so not a lot of drops left. The gateway from Burger Boys is right there in the middle. They might choose to glitch that just to get it out of the way. Neither team really committing yet.
Yeah, and there it is. There's the winch claw pulling it out. Hey. This is what you want. They throw the goo up as well. I don't think they have enough DMAT to close it off. Gas goes down and really stalls them from getting on it. Seems like 200 milliseconds needs to regroup. They go over to the stairwell, but they need to kind of regroup. It's slowing down just a little bit. Cash out ticking down. RPG in hand. They are ready to find somebody. Grudy goes down in that fight. They are now at a disadvantage. There's the winch claw pulling him out. Wolf at 8 HP goes down as well. There's only one person left on 200 milliseconds, and he is not looking good. The Burger Boys as well are down as well. They are trying to get anybody back up. There's the res. There's the healing. The lease back up, and it seems like they are back in control of this cash out.
Got that nice team wipe at the last second there on a 200 MS. The Burger Boys not sweating too much here. Graduating, playing really, really well on these angles. But Team Dis still holding the defensive position on their cash out. Glitch Grenade knocks that bubble down. Looks for an entry point. Has that dash with that ARN. The cash out is being stolen. Brendy looking to hold this. Can it be dropped? He's riding it down, but he does get disconnected from it. Gets bumped off at the last second. Can the steal go out? No. Llama finishes him off with that sledge and finishes the cash out for his team.
Yeah, it looked like he was riding a surfboard as it just fell down, and it did buy them the time that they needed. So Team Dit in first place, Burger Boys in second, and then honestly, Halto's Finest in 200 milliseconds at 5,000 below them. That is a really big gap. I think that we're honestly going to have to see a cash out stacked in this last one if these bottom two teams want to get anywhere up to the first or second level. But we will have to see as that plays out. Everybody's moving moving closer towards Vault 6, moving over to Graduating and now Spring Hour. He's trying to find a res if he can, holding those defibs in hand, not really going for a res. Sometimes people do this, they run with the DMATs or defibs out like this so they have more of a viewing angle. Jumping over to Lamp, he is holding down that minigun. They're going for a steal. Halto's Finest really needs this if they want to be able to get anywhere out of third or fourth. There he is, riding it, straddling the cash out. There's the lock bolt. He has a feeling that they're over there. I think he did. It connected with a few people. Lamp in a great spot, spinning up that minigun, now trying to find a new position as both teams kind of seem to slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, their team are just running away.
Oh,
And they've successfully stolen the vault. They have it. Was it tossed to them by 200 MS? It was 200 MS with the Galaxy Brain play. Just give Holthouse Finest the vault, double it up. They have a chance to get first place now. Team Dit have to go for this steal. Everybody has to go for this now because you need these extra placements. Burger Boys taking a lot of damage on their way across. They're so low. 200 MS lost somebody as well. Holthouse Finest sitting very pretty with this goo up on the high ground, but Team Dit looking to aggress from underneath. They could drop this multiple times with that sledge, with that winch, reposition this. A minute left on this fight, a minute left on this cash out. Exactly 1/2 left as all 4 teams right now are alive. All 4 teams have 3 players.
Yeah, and look at Halto's Finest as they have set up some goo strategies. They are on top of the map, basically, and they've got a great vantage point as well. It's a great spot for Lamp to be in, but they do get spotted out. Team Diff knows that they're up there. They're trying to bounce up there, but they can't get to them. It is just a bounce of mania as these teams just try and dive on it. Cash Out has maybe 20 seconds left. We see all of the teams' glitch grenades going off. Lots of mines, lots of everything. Team Dit has their teammates down to half health, but it is still Halto's Finest in firm control. There is the Cash Out getting winched out of place, forces Halto's Finest to dive on it. Cash Out has maybe 15 seconds left. One of the Halto's Finest members goes down. Cash Out drops again. We see Team Dit, 200 milliseconds, everybody getting on top of it. They have to hold it. They're able to
can they get this? They have time! They have time!
Dip is able to get it. They're getting shot, but it's not enough.
Wait, no,
they get pulled off of it. They got it. 76K!
Oh my god, what a match. I don't think there was any team left in the lobby. I thought that Light Commit had it at the last second. What a fight! What a fight! It was just mayhem, like you said, just the bouncing pads outside trying to get to that goo. At the same time, Burger Boys were just getting melted, going for an early fight on the cash out, and then Team Dip playing so slow, keeping their health until the last minute when they had the last possible second steal. That was insane.
Yeah, that was great. I really thought that Halto's Finest had that just because they had the positioning and then just watching everybody in the bounce-a-rama just trying to get up there, unable to get up there, just a little bit off, and they finally did get in there. And really, if they didn't winch claw that cash out of position, I think Halto's Finest would have had it. They would have had the absolute position on it. And I don't know, Waltz, that was one of the wildest matches and conclusions as well. And also just Halto's Finest getting the cash out to double it as well right at the end. I don't know. I'm hyped up. That was wild.
Oh, yeah.
That was map 3. We have one more, so I don't even know what to expect. But yeah, what are your thoughts on what we just saw there, Waltz?
That's exactly why I love this game so much. 200 MS, really smart play from them there. They weren't gonna get anything better than third, even if they started a cash out. Knowing that they did have a chance at a double, they were in 4th place anyways. Like, what are they gonna lose? Just give Holthouse Finest the vault. He chucked that thing across the map. That had to have been like a 150-meter throw.
Yeah.
It was incredible stuff from him. It's like we were in low gravity. I don't know what he hit, what bounce pad he had, but great stuff from them. And then every team, and that's what I love about this format too. Normally it's doubled. If you're in first place, why would you care? You just walk away. You don't really care about it. You're going to qualify, but first to second does matter. These points matter. So even if you're in first, you're going to go fight because you want the chance of getting those extra 30 points. The difference between 170 points does matter, and there's just these little amounts they build up over time.
They really do, and by the time that we have gone through 8 play days, the numbers will just be wild. So every kill, every cash out, every first place matters quite a lot, and that was just I don't know, one of the best things I've seen in the finals. Love the gameplay, love the team play. I love the goo strategies too. I love that that is a whole like meta side of things that you can kind of manipulate where you are. We have seen people make what we call a goo nest, and they drop the cash out off the side of the map. There's just so much utility that can be done with goo in this game. And yeah, I don't know. I could talk about it forever, but we're loading into the last map of today. Chat, are you excited? This will be on Fortune Stadium. Root for your favorite team because this is almost it.
We are nearly finished up with it, and this is why I love watching Brendy so much. The guy has been running Goo Grenade for so long.
Yeah.
Eventually, everyone has just followed along and started running Goo Grenade as well because it is so versatile as well. We don't see everyone run it, but enough people do because it does give you so much utility. This is such a weird vault fight at the beginning. These teams, there's so much space you have to cross, and very nice play. Both teams are biting this very safely right now. Has that glitch canister, very important, knock out those shields. Neither team really committing to this. Holthouse Finest do have the benefit of the vault. They have tagged it. The police is looking for an angle onto this point. There's a gateway, pushing over, looking, graduating. They're taking this vault, but Brendy drops a little bit, does have eyes on the vault. His heavy is quite low, though. He has to come back and bail his heavy out. Drops right on top of Belize, looks for the shot. One hit, two hit. The melee finishes off Belize. Belize is down. One down for Burger Boys, two down for Holthouse Finest right now. Brendy has to look for that pick. One shot does get the wipe. No, he actually gets taken out. Spring Hour getting the 1v1 Cerberus battle.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about the Cerberus is that it really is kind of a in-your-face kind of weapon. And if you have two Cerberuses and you're low, it's not going to go well for you if you dive into the other person who has a little bit more health than you. Because honestly, it's not hard to miss or to hit those shots when you're right on top of each other. Looks like Cash Out A will get started by Team 200 millisecond. No, I'm sorry. Who is in control of that? Can't see because we're moving over to Team D as they have control over the other cash out. As it is slowly ticking down, Rudy taking some shots off from the roof. Goo is blocking their control. Lamp goes down in that fight. Can they get the res off on their teammate? Diving down. Wolf comes back up. Gateway play to get him back on the roof. They're diving in and out, trying to find anybody they can, but 200 milliseconds is losing one of their members. It looks like they have Brands getting res healed back up. He does go down. Now they get the wipe on Halto's Finest.
This is such a useless fight, though. These people were just fighting over a rooftop that has no cash out, and here comes Belize as well, just getting more kills. Just going to go ahead and run at these people. He's very low himself, though. Belize wins him as he pulled off the map, takes him with him. You're coming with me. Graduating, looking to clean up Grudy, and he does. They get the full team wipe, but they're going to have to run back to their cash out now because the respawning team is going to be heading over towards A, and there they are. Holthouse Finest respawning and booking it towards A as fast as they can. Graduating is there, providing his team with a gateway. They're going to be back, but this could be an opening for them to get the advantage. Like him on the roof is going to have eyes on Spring Hour. Does he finish him off? Waiting for it. There he is, melting him very quickly. Very low. Can't get the kill. But Brendy is sticking for the steal right below them. Like him, has to drop down. Give his team some help. Lamp very, very low. Brendy low as well. Has to get some help there. But he jumps into the waiting arms of Graduation. Graduating is just getting taken him out. That's two down already. Lamp, the only one left. 1 versus 2 right now. Graduating has eyes as well. Finishes him off. Holthouse Finest couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, Halto's Finest seem to be struggling just a little bit in this map. Not sure what is going wrong for them, but we move to Graduating as he got a very convincing kill as he dashed in and out with that XP. A lot of versatility, a lot of movement, good aim as well on top of everything. A steal is going off, but he's going to be able to dive in there and get it. He gets Grudy down with the elbow, not leaving them enough time to get the steal, and the cash out will go the way of the Burger Boys. Good steal, or good prevention right at the end.
Yeah, Burger Boys playing really well so far, getting that first cash out. And Team Dip, pretty easy. Pretty easy game for them so far. They have another cash out. They haven't really had many fights. There's only 3 kills on the side of Team Dip overall, but they are going to have to push back an enemy team right now as Holthouse Finest looking to take cash out D away. Have some time. They have had a little bit of opportunity to set up some defenses here, so this is not going to be an easy push for Holthouse Finest. As here they go, spawns, looking, taking out both of those windows on his way down. That's going to make the vaulting a lot easier for him if he needs to get back onto the point. There's the steal, being stuck. They're not baiting this out. It gets dropped down. There's the first DMAT. Has eyes on the side spawns. Can he get away? He's getting so low. He does get taken down. Already one lost. For Team Dip. There's the minigun doing a lot of damage. There's the medium on Dip, very low as well. Spawns, Boo Boo, both down. It's Llama by himself, 1 versus 1. Like Commit is the only one left. Lamp and Brady, but the winch comes in. It's finished off. Llama with all 3 kills there. Spawns and Boo Boo went down so fast, but the sledge got into the midst of Holthouse Finest, and they could not deal with it.
Yep, Haltos Finest got bonked one after another, and you hate to see it because I think there's a lot of people in chat that like Haltos Finest. So if you're rooting for them, they need your love, they need your support. Get them back in there because this is not over yet. We have 4 minutes left in this map. Looks like the next vault will move over to Cash Out C. These cash outs seem to be pretty far apart, so we will have nice separated gameplay as we move into what could potentially be the last cash out, depending on how they play this. There is the winch claw. They bring it out into the open. It's a great spot to bring that cash out to be. They are now getting a reposition set up for them, or not. I'm not sure what they're doing. Or they're just going for D. They're going for it. They know everybody's there. Nobody wanted to fight them directly, so they're bringing the fight to them. We were watching Rudy as he throws that zip line up, brings his teammates with him. Can he demat through the floor? This cash out has maybe 10 seconds left. They need 5 seconds to steal it. They need to dive on it now. Haltos Finest is trying to steal it.
Oh,
there's a winch claw pulling it out of the point. Not able to get it, but they are finding some nice damage from atop. I think they're going to have to run back if they want to stay in control of their cash out now, because everybody has realized everybody is here. There is the zip line. Everybody is on it, trying to get back in their position. Haltos Finest, like Commit with 1 HP, is able to get the steal. They need to set up and get the hold. Can they do this? We'll find out in just a second.
Everybody's sitting on Cash Out C, but on the other end, Team did get wiped there, but because there were 4 teams looking at their cash out, nobody took it from them. So they're just going to run over and tag the vault on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, 200 MS looking to take this away from Holthouse Finest. Sonar Grenade doesn't find anyone, but the return sonar from Lycommit is probably going to find Bran. They've know exactly where they are now. Bran has eyes on Holthouse Finest. The winch misses. He was looking to pull it up. 200 MS been doing a lot of these plays where they grab these cash outs and pull them vertically with the winch. I really like these plays from them, but they haven't been able to find anything yet. Turning around, Lycommit, very low. He's about 4 bars right now. Has to back away. 200 MS, still trying to find an angle on this point. There's the winch. Crazy winch for him, but it goes right back to the ground. Couldn't quite work it out. Now they just have to commit to it eventually. Lycommit's very, very low on the backside. They have done a lot of damage, but he's going to regen in just a second. Wolf, you need to go for the steal. They have to block this off. There is C4 on the point, so they have to be very careful about how they approach this. Lamp is pushing in. The C4 goes off. Does a lot of damage. Grudy and Wolf, very low so far. Winch is in. Does miss. Doing some damage, though. Pushes in, protecting the rest of his team. He has to hold his stick right now. There's not enough time. He's taking damage. That's going to be it. Holthouse Finest holding this point. This 1 versus 1, but this cash out is going in favor of Holthouse Finest as Lycommit does win the 1v1.
There we go. That's what I want to see. Haltos Finest, they can do this. That was a convincing hold and a convincing wipe on top of it as well. Another cash out gets started by Team Dip. They're doing the same thing. They tried to move it onto a bounce pad. Didn't go exactly where they wanted it. That winch claw can be a little bit temperamental, but it is now in a little bit more of an open area. Not kind of where they wanted it because it is on the bottom floor. So that does mean that if anybody else winch claws is out of the where, they will have to dive onto it. But we're watching Boo Boo as he sets up. He has a nice little glitch barrel in his hand. Nobody is super close to him just yet. They are on top of the goo. Nice little fortification there on top of this roof. It does seem like Haltos Finest have moved into the point. They are directly below them. That glitch grenade can just pop them all if it hits them just right, but it does look like one of the Haltos Finest came around. He tried to get the jump on them, but they spotted him out right away. They are dealing a lot of damage. They do hop up. Brindy trying to take the fight to them on top of the roof. They're still taking it to him, but we're watching Bobo as he is one of the last persons left on his team. Llama with just 1 bar of health. Can he get the res on his teammate? It does look like Haltos Finest is going for the steal. They need to make something happen now. Can he stop it? Red barrel in hand, throws it, goes for the elbow, goes down in the fight. He did stop it, but I think that's going to give Haltos Finest enough time to get back and get the steal.
They have to reset. Lamp was getting a revive onto Brendy, and now they have a chance to push into it, but here come 200 MS. This is now 3 people looking at this cash out. 200 MS with the high ground as well. This is no longer an easy steal the way it was a second ago when Lamp is running Mesh Shield. He's not running Winch. They cannot pull this cash out of this open area. A little bit more goo goes down. This is an entire goo nest right now as Brendy looking for this steal, and nobody is there to stop it this time. But here comes Dead looking in. They've immediately crushed Brendy. Lamp does finish off one. Llama is down. He has to get revived by the rest of his team, but that totem is in a very difficult position, so they're just backing out. He's not going to be in the fight for another 20 seconds. His team has to wait for him. Only 30 seconds left on this cash out. It's a final one. There is another one across side of the map, but nobody's looking for that one. Burger Boy's getting an easy cash out. Wolf pushing in, holds the steal. More goo on this point. More stuff holding here. Can they get in? This time Team Dead cannot get to it. No! Boo Boo saves it once again. The second time he's delayed this cash out, holding it for his team, securing them a first place. Now, 16 seconds left. Can anybody get to the Burger Boys on the other side of the map? I don't think so. This might just be it, Rio.
I think this is it. We're just going to watch it tick down. The fight definitely happened at the other cash out, and really fun to watch as Team Div was able to stop the steal more than once, and really that last one was probably one of the best stops I've seen today. Gotta love it. Gotta love how this all plays out. Team Div on top, Burger Boys in second, and I missed the other two, but we'll see them in just a second.
Really impressive stuff from these teams. Very, very impressed by what I saw in that entire match, honestly. Team De played really, really solidly. That entire fight definitely helped by the fact that 200 MS did not want to fight Burger Boys. Not sure what the plan was there. They wanted to go for a third party. Ended up kind of biting them in the ass a little bit, though, as it delayed things enough that Holthouse Finest couldn't commit to the steal. And Boo Boo, two steals in a row that he was able to prevent at the last possible second. 3 total steals the entire team was able to hold off at the last possible second. Great work from Team Dit overall. Again, a team that I really enjoy watching and I think will go very far just because their play style is so aggressive. Again, another Apes squad. They are so just unrelenting in their push.
Yep, I completely agree. And looking at the scoreboard, though, they just weren't getting a ton of kills. So they were able to just get the right steals, the right stops, and just everything that really makes this an objective based game. And I love that they played it like that. There were some heavy hitters graduating with 12, Lycomit with 10, and really just the whole teams were doing great. A lot of teamwork, a lot of good games today, Walt. I really enjoyed this last group. I think that they gave us quite a show. Everybody in it, Halto's finest as well. I'm blown away by what we saw. Do you have any kind of final thoughts on this group as we kind of wrap up and get ready to look at the overall standings for today?
On this one, I think the biggest takeaway is that the groups do matter, right? Like
Yeah.
the people you're playing against, you can end up with sometimes it's not even just straight up skill. It can straight up just be what do you run against that you don't know how to play against? Maybe you're running against Sledge, you don't know how to play against Sledge. Maybe you don't know how to play against Minigun. Anything like that. It can just be really, really hard to deal with. And so like in this instance, all these teams were very, very close to each other in terms of points. But I think we saw a couple teams, especially like Team De, really step up and go above and beyond. And maybe that's because they had a good matchup. Maybe they were just popping off today. But you really can't count any of these teams out.
Yeah, and I guess just kind of looking over at what we saw today, Group A was pretty dominating performance. It seemed like kind of heavy hitters. Group B was a really kind of middle range area, but we saw some amazing performances from some teams that we didn't expect, like Dark Horse. And then finally, the matches that we just saw, it felt like a battle. It felt like these teams were in sixth, seventh, and eighth, and they knew that they had to kind of mix things up. So
Yeah.
we will kind of now move over to the bracket, hopefully, and or not the bracket, the standings, and we will see kind of the updated scores. Do you want to kind of
Yeah.
walk us through this, Waltz?
Absolutely. Now, before we jump into this, because we have a little bit of a delay, we do have a giveaway. So while we're breaking
Oh,
down the scores, everybody type goo in the chat and we will pick out a winner of the giveaway. So we're going to break down these scores though. Type goo in the chat to enter the
who?
giveaway. But yeah. So let's break down these scores like you said, Rio, because we have a bit of a shakeup from where
Ooh.
we were at the beginning of today. We talked about our teams that were in first place, Bricked and After Hours. After Hours dropping down to third place. Fourth Party Cashbox moving their way up to second place, passing After Hours, who did not have the greatest time. Meanwhile, Team De went from sixth place to fourth. They've dropped up 2 spots so far. And finally, the last team I want to pick out, I want to pick out Dark Horse. did make their way up from 11th to 10th. It feels like a small jump, but the points they got, they were in a distance 11th. They're actually right next to the pack. Look how close 10th through 8th are.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. 10th through 8th are just a hairs away from each other. And, looking at the very bottom of it, the Scallywags, I think that they need to step up. They had a rough day today. We know that some of them were having trouble, with their internet. I think that was Appo. But yeah, just sad to see them kind of fall so far down. I have seen the Scallywags perform in so many other tournaments, so many other things. It's just really, sad to see. But as we've said time and time again, this is only play day number 3. There is another one coming up on Saturday, and guess what? We have a break, but then there's 4 more play days coming up after that. So lots of opportunities for all of these teams to just completely mix it up. And who knows? We might see the Scallywags go all the way from bottom to maybe somewhere in the yellow. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of potential
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, lots of time left for these teams to figure things out. All right. Rio, you want to pick us a number so we can choose our winner of the giveaway?
I will choose 51.
Ooh, 51.
And
Andrews Town. What a winner.
congratulations, you will get 500 multi-bucks courtesy of Embark. So congratulations, Burrita will message you directly and it will tell you how to get your prize. So congratulations and thank you again, Embark. And Waltz, that sadly brings us to the end of today. I think that we have had I know that's a true face. I have had a wonderful time with these matches. Loved casting with you. It has just been a fun filled day. And if this is indicative of anything of what Saturday will be like, the next play day, I think we have a lot coming to us.
Yeah, the fun never stops. These cash out days, they are chaotic, but they are fun, and we see some crazy stuff. We saw so many different plays, so many different weapons, things that you don't normally get to see. And if this is what's happening on day number 3, I can't wait to see what things look like by the time we get to day number 7, day number 8. It's a lot of stuff like that. But like you said, this is pretty much it for the day. I want to give a shout out to, again, everybody working the production. Let's give a shout out to Crash as well. Keep juicing
Yeah.
up that prize pool, doing so much to support the work going on here. Shout out to you, Rio. Shout out to the casters, Decilis, the people running in the background, and a huge shout out to Burita. Guys, we need a
Always.
W Burita in the chat for everything he does. The man needs some love. But that is it for us today, guys. Like Rio said, we have more games on Saturday, so make sure you tune in for that. But for now, we're going to have to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.